Sound check, Connor and Zach for tonight's hockey stream, UW versus WSU.
Sound check. 1, 2, 3.
This is a KUGR sports production,
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He stops at the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, back to the game.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
This is a KUGR sports production,
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He stops at the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, back to the game.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on.
It was the Huskies that drew first blood last night in the Apple Puck, controlling the game completely. But tonight, the Cougars have a chance to even the score. A fresh sheet of ice, a fired-up crowd, and 60 more minutes to rewrite the story. It's game 2, Huskies, Cougars. Who comes out on top? We will find out shortly here at Kraken Iceplex in Northgate at Pink the Rink Night. Connor Rayner is scratched tonight for the Cougs. That is a huge story. He is a key player for this team. What can they do now to kind of replace Van Rayner?
Well, honestly, yesterday, all the star players of the WSU Cougars kind of got shut down where no one got anything going. So, if anything, nothing really got started in the first place. Obviously, with Rayner out, him being your captain, one of the captains of his team, and also probably one of the better players of this team, that whole second line's messed up, and all the lines change. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt the Cougs today. But what seemed to be an all-dominated Husky game, the Cougs didn't show a lot of will or a lot of must-fight-back moments. So it's like, I don't know if the Huskies even saw the real WSU Cougars. So that could bite them in the butt today. We truly do not know, though. With that said, though, we got to talk about the goalie matchup.
Absolutely,
we got to
we
talk
do.
about it.
We do. You have Alexi Kuhl He has been phenomenal. He was phenomenal last night. 52 saves on 54 shots. He was the real backbone of the team. The team really couldn't get any offense going almost the whole game. 16 shots for the Cougs, 54 for the Huskies, and it was a 2-1 game. Really looking like Dustin Wolf out there.
Yes.
Is he going to be the decision maker today over Zach Reddy, who realistically looked beatable yesterday, but just we didn't get enough chances on him?
Well, first off, the Cougs got to get better passing and just got to get stuff going offensively. That's just an obvious to give me if anyone saw the game or heard about the game yesterday. The thing with Alexi Cool is, can he do it twice, or can the Cougs limit the Huskies? Because that's going to be the story of the game. We know the Cougs have a little bit of lackluster defense to start this year, and the Huskies have a dominant offense. But can the roles reverse tonight? That's a question that both of them are asking, because the Huskies' defense obviously was good for majority part of the game, but was that because the Cougs' offense wasn't looking good, or was it because of the Huskies and their keys and watching film and everything like that? Can Alexi Cool do it twice is a big question we're going to have to ask ourselves. Zach Reddy obviously still looked very strong, had a plus 950 save percentage, 15 saves on 16 shots, but it was a 2-1 game. Regardless, it looked like it was an 8-1 game. It was a 2-1 game, and I'm very excited for this. In a packed-out crowd for breast cancer awareness, everyone is wearing pink tonight. The Huskies are looking to show out in front of their home crowd. The Cougs are looking to steal one and get the first win in 4 years against the Huskies.
That is the closest they came, was last night in the 2-1 battle. It has not been some close ones in recent years. But again, when we talk about Washington State, it's hard not to talk about penalties.
Yeah.
Discipline has been a huge issue for this team. But yesterday, the refs were kind of letting both teams play. There weren't really a lot of calls either way. Tons of missed calls. One here at center ice. Coach Lupinacci was irate about it. They ended up getting a goal later on. That was kind of toward the end of the game. There were 2:13 left. David Bushkin, the lone goal of the game. He has been incredible. Who is going to be the standout player tonight for the Cougs?
Well, honestly, you have to look at somebody like Cole Carlson, who did have a little bit of opportunities, but in a game like this where we didn't see a lot yesterday from the Cougs, it could be either team or just a simple moment where the Cougs capitalize on a Husky mistake, like David Bushkin did yesterday, which was an amazing shot, and in basketball terms was and one, got fouled and did everything. But Coach Lupinacci was very upset. There was a lot of missed penalties, you could say, but also a lot of aggressiveness between both teams. Because the Huskies had a little bit of Sam Bennett moments in front of Alexi Cool. Alexi Cool got a couple shoves in there, but with that in mind, you have to be aggressive. It's the Apple Cup, Apple Puck. There's going to be aggressiveness. No team wants to come out here and just lose to the rival school. So if I'm looking for the Cougs side, I'm looking at the star player Cole Carlson, and I'm going to the Husky side and doing the same thing and looking at Lampman, who leads. I believe he's second place in points in the division right now. So,
and if you're the Cougs, it can't be anything too pretty. You can't try and make these crazy passes. No. If you can just get pucks on net, even if it's a Paul Bissonnette grease goal,
yes.
You just have to get it done. Yeah. Zach Reddy looks like he was giving up some rebounds yesterday, and that could be what's super crucial for them to get some offense going, but they have to break it out of their own zone. They had so much trouble with just controlling the puck yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolutely almost no possession for most of the game. I mean, what can change for that?
Well, obviously you can practice so much and it has to translate. As we saw, they were kind of practicing on breaks right now in the warm-ups, but take that with a grain of salt. But you just kind of said it. A goal is a goal. They all equal 1 point, equal one goal. Yesterday, the Huskies, I think they could have had close to 5+ goals, but they were trying to make it look pretty. And they were looking pretty while doing it, but that only resulted in 2 goals. They had amazing passes. Both goals were amazing goals, too, off of really good feeds, penalties, everything like that. But if we just saw David Bushkin's goal yesterday that brought it to a 1-score game, it was fighting through contact, just lifting over the shoulder, a gritty grind goal. So I think the team, it's going to be one of those situations where whoever's probably getting the majority of the shots is going to win this game.
No doubt, and it will be a good one. Last night was phenomenal. Again, like we said, wasn't really close when you looked at it, but the score said otherwise.
Yeah.
And we are here at the Kraken Iceplex again for Game 2. I'm Zach McFarland, joined by Connor Simmons. You are watching KUGR. The national anthem is next. Do not go away. Although it's the purple and gold taking on the crimson and white, pink surrounds the rink tonight on Breast Cancer Awareness Night here at the Kraken Iceplex as the puck drops and we're underway. Game 2 of the Cougs and the Huskies. This one banked ahead. Pushed along, now dropped off right at the blue line for Britt. He can't find it. And this one nudged way ahead on a bank play. Here comes Cole Carlson for the Cougs, looking early on for a chance, and his shot blocked into the corner off the dog in front. This one sent all the way back out to the neutral zone and picked up by Lucas.
Let's see if the Cougs can get something going. They didn't get a shot on net in that first period until 3 minutes left in it.
They only had 8 shots in the first period last night as Sloan sends it across ice. That one kicked and soccered toward the goal, and it will be Nash to cover it up with 19:23. So just 37 seconds in, we have our first stoppage of play.
Well, it's only been 37 seconds, like you just said, but the Cougs are looking good. Take it with a grain of salt. But as of right now, the Cougs are looking really good, looking to press the Huskies as much as possible, because I do think the Huskies came in here with a little bit of we know we're better kind of attitude.
They're definitely coming out much better than they did last night. Here's a shot kind of toward the goal, didn't go, as Lampman, who is going to be a problem tonight, sends it over for Irwin. Dropping it back off Lampman, threw one toward the net, and that one hit off of Dominic Wolf in front as the puck rolls on edge, winds around the end board. But a 4-man scrum. Robinson couldn't corral it for the Cougs as the loose puck again along the half wall. Christopher Williams tried to push it down low. It does get to him eventually. There's Lampman. Irwin circling like a shark. This one is backhanded all the way down. The linesman's arm is up, and this will be an icing at 1:15 elapsed time.
This is what the Cougs can't get in a habit of, especially this game, because I did see it a lot yesterday. The Huskies got set up in the Cougar zone, and the Cougars were just trying to clear it, and I know maybe trying to clear it a little bit better, but icing's just going to kill you. They were getting tired yesterday. So many icing calls, and they just can't get off the ice. They're tired, and the defense needs them today. Alexia Kuhl needs them today.
Alexi Kuhl did compliment his defense in his interview last night after the game. Said they were phenomenal. They could clear the puck well. Sticks were on the ice. They're going to have to do it again. Irwin off the faceoff win for the Huskies. Just backhanded one toward the net. That one sticked away by Robinson, and he's able to get that out to the point and could not be kept alive. Kind of just in his feet there was Lampman. Just couldn't corral it. So back comes Williams. Oh, my goodness. He laid a reverse it on Bushkin, but they both got the rough end of that one. My goodness.
That is what I call a lose-lose situation, but Ryan Brenner laid the line right there, and Williams is definitely a little shaken up.
Wow, that was a big booming hit, and we saw some scrapping last night as this one is a very obvious offside. I don't think Irwin really got the memo there from the linesman.
And I believe the refs do kind of understand that, as they're not going to call intentional offsides and no penalty. Oh, are they? They're on the other side of the rink right now. Yeah, they might be calling it as intentional, or they called it as icing, I believe. Weird call right there. Don't truly understand it, but it's sounding like an icing.
The officiating last night was a little questionable. The Cougars had a power play, and then the faceoff ended up being on the outside of the offensive zone. Odd there, but Eom now has it along the board. And the puck will come out, and again, there's Ballard just firing it back in, and Jonah Nash in behind the cage to play it.
And then going back to the interviews, Coach Lupinacci, when asked about the refs, he said they did a really good job. Obviously, you're going to be mad at certain situations, but he did a good job not commenting too much about it.
Here's Yang in the corner. Sends it back to the point. Duncan Needham lets one go. That's a high shot and bounced in front. Eom can't tank it. And another try goes all the way around the net. Clark just howitzes one out. And the rolling puck not going to go the length. It needs to for an icing, so Needham just kind of lets it go for Patterson. Needham's got it. Sauces one through the red line. Yang fired it back in. That one's going to be played by Kuhl and left off in a handoff for Sam Hembry. Cole Carlson just poking it ahead for himself in a dump-in play. So Hovinen pursuing. This one comes to the point. Hembry, top of the circle, just tried to float one toward the net, and it's blocked, and here come the Dogs. An opportunity here. Consola moving in one-on-one on Lucas, and a great poke play by Lucas, but a backhander, and they score! On the loose puck, the Huskies have struck first at 3 minutes. It's 1-0 Dogs.
What a great shot and opportunity there. A lot of confusion in front of the net. It looks like Consolo, he was the first person to score as he slid into the net before the puck did. I do not believe they're going to call it off because it was close, but it did go 5-full, and Alexia Kuhl has a goal scored on him in the first 3 minutes of this first period. 17 minutes to go. Huskies already up 1-0.
Consolo kind of pressured Keegan Lucas. A good sweeping stick from him, but cleaning up the loose trash is Cameron Smith. And again, 3 minutes, the Huskies have struck first in a game where the Cougs really needed the jump.
And it all starts because of a Sam Hembry. I believe he heard footsteps, and a bad pass or shot leads to the Huskies going another way, and a break leads to a goal.
A bit of a floaty shot by Hembry, and it really didn't get anywhere. And that caused the one-on-one opportunity as they're going to blow this play dead for an offside with 16:31 still to go here in period one. Again, the Huskies striking first.
Regardless of how good the goal is, like we talked, it still is 1 point and it is one goal. The Cougs are looking better than like they were yesterday, but we're still very early on in this game, and this game can go any way still so early.
Ferguson wins the draw for Konopka. Just kind of directs it over to Britt. Britt had it knifed off his stick by Keenan. 5-5, but a huge impact he has on the defensive backside. Bushkin kind of reverse hitting again Konopka. He has already been on the receiving end of a couple of hits tonight as the Cougs battling at the offensive blue line. Keenan is playing up to make that happen. Taylor keeps it alive in the zone as it's swatted across ice to Britt, who banks it ahead for nobody there. And Robinson, again, fires this back, and just a bit of turnover battles here in the neutral zone.
Yes, and Colin Keenan is one of those players that was scratched yesterday who checks in for another a bunch of scratch players tonight for the Cougs, such as Van Rayner, who's on the second line, one of the superstars of this team.
Huge goal scorer for the Cougs. It's going to hurt to not have him on the offensive front. Cole Carlson going to have to step up even bigger than he normally does, as Kelly's going to angle this one all the way down, and it will be an icing.
I'm going to keep saying it. If they keep on doing it, Zach, they just can't keep clearing it just like that. At least take a little bit off it so they have to decide, or maybe you can get a guy raced down, but you're going to get tired at one point. We're still so early on. There's 15 minutes, 32 seconds left in the first period. Huskies up 1-0, and you're already starting to see that dump and run kind of thing, and you don't want to see that early on for the Cougs.
We saw it with the Capitals last year in the postseason. A lot of sky plays. They would sky it to the neutral zone, and the puck would just be a grenade. It would be bouncing, hard to handle. They capitalized on a couple of those. That's what the Cougars need to do instead of just clearing it all the way down, and they're going to get their legs taken out from under them because they're so tired. As the Huskies looking to do something here, Wolf hemmed along the board as it comes back to the point. There's Morris, a shot right into the feet there of Evan King, and played ahead for Hamlet. Nice move to step by, but Williams shoving him off and closing him off at the blue line. Off the stick of Wolf. He is lifted there by Umale. Taken by Lampman. Walks in top of the circle, and a shot just whistles by the glove of Cool. Hurrying one there was Williams from the point. It was off target. Umale kind of fanning on the clear out, and it comes now to Wolf. Circles it over. Lampman top of the slot, shooting it right into the glove of Cool at 5:15 elapsed time.
That is something that I love to see from Alexei Cool, slowing the game down and letting the game come down. But going back to what you just said about the Capitals skying the puck, something that I want to ask you about is the home arena for the WSU Cougars does involve a situation where they have a short roof and the pillars, and in practice you can't really do that. So I wonder if that's a situation where they have to clear it a different way, or just so practiced and they're so focused on clearing it this way, doing it another way isn't that good.
That is a great point. The rink in Moscow is just very short ceiling. And so there are often times where you can't sky the puck. It looks like 10 seconds ran off the clock, and now the clock isn't going, and now it continues as Morris carries it into the corner, and he's closed off there by Ballard, and a great defensive play from the freshman. Still loose puck, comes out in front. Cool made the save. Unbelievable. A great stop from point blank on a great chance from Logan Maloney. He was right there.
Number 2, Logan Maloney found himself with the puck. I think he was even a little shocked, but he did an amazing job of obviously getting it up in the air, but also by himself. And Alexei Cool stays strong, looks him dead in the eyes, and said, "This is my puck. Gloves at home."
As we get a whistle here, not sure what they're blowing it for. It looks like maybe a false start. Matthew Taylor maybe leaving the circle is now. Bushkin will come in to take the draw. One out by Bushkin. Good ejection there for the Cougs, honestly. Bouncing puck toward the slot. That one's off Yang. Still kind of battling for it. Looks like someone took a high stick. Couple of bodies go down. No arms come up. Yes, there is. The arm of the official is up. Cool is to the bench. Nash plays it in the corner. There is no trapezoid rule in the ACHA. He won't get one for that. But it looks like the Cougars are going to go to the power play. But I'm not sure what is being called here exactly.
I think we're going to look to the center of the ice to see what the exact call was. It was on number 12, Derek Yang.
It's going to be a high stick.
And I believe the high stick didn't come intentional or even on accident, or it was on accident. It was when he fell when we thought a slashing was going to be called. But when he fell, his stick came in there, and it did hit one of the Cougar players. And this is a good opportunity for the Cougs to at least get this game back to even. 14 minutes, 4 seconds left in this first period. Huskies up 1-0. Cougs on the first power play of the game.
Huge break for the Cougs and a big opportunity. Obviously, high sticking is really only acceptable if it's on a follow-through, and that one was not. Here's Bush getting a shot blocked down in front. A great selfless play by the Husky defense, and a breakout here for Eom. Around the right wing. He speeds on by, and a short side right off the outside of the bar. And just kind of sends it right back out. Mossgrave now chasing. Nash will take it in the corner, and he's going to fire it around the end board. And that will be cleared the rest of the way by Maloney.
And we saw this already. 30 seconds has already gone in this power play, but it looked like every power play the Cougs were on, it looked like the Huskies were gone. So it becomes a situation if you're Coach Lupinacci, do you want to pull Lexi Cool if you're down 1 goal if the extra man doesn't help whatsoever? As look, here come the Huskies once again.
The Huskies now a turnover in the neutral zone. Maloney dancing through a couple. Loose puck on the goal line. It didn't go. Swept out. And it comes out to the half wall. Oh, my goodness. Kanopka now a try. And that one didn't go. My, oh, my. The Huskies looking like they're on the power play right now as a minute has gone by on the Cougar man advantage. That puck was inches from making this game 2-0 as Carlson dancing in, spins it and trying to twirl away from the defense, but can't.
I think Logan Maloney even thought he scored. He put his hands up like he did. It just trickles out, and the official waves it off. But still, good opportunities for the Huskies.
The puck came toward the line twice there, went right back under Cool again a second time, but was cleared out emphatically the second time as the Cougars just trying to get possession in their offensive zone here, and they finally do. Robinson at the point. Walks the line a bit and fires through a screen and did not know where that was Nash as it comes back to the point again. Robinson trying to keep it alive, but it is poked off his stick by Ferguson, and it comes out with 15 to go on the power play.
For the Cougs, get it set up in their zone in these last couple minutes. You have the man advantage.
Ballard just trying to break it out, but the Lampman forecheck unreal, and the power play is going to wind down and come to an end. Kelly connects ahead for Taylor. Loose puck taken by Ballard. Banked it off the glass, and now Umale with a backhand, and he pushes that one into the zone off a dump in. Patterson run down. Lampman will break it out for the Dogs. Nice sauce angle pass ahead, just too far for Wolf. Cool's going to come out and clear it, and a great play there. And it hits off his skate, and now moving ahead, and a shot kind of floats toward the goal. Not getting all of that was Taylor, but that could have been a too many men. We saw a discussion last night. The same thing happened, but against the Cougs, they ended up not calling it, so I think that that's only right.
I believe it should be. I think it is an even out call, but that is what you see. That is prototypical too many men on the ice. It physically hit another guy on the ice, but Lexi Cole doing a smart decision as Yang was coming by himself, has probably the most stamina on the Husky side coming off of the penalty box, but clears it. No penalties called, but see if the Cougs can get something going on Husky side right now.
Maybe a bit of a makeup call. This one is poked freely in the low slot. Ballard kept it alive, just sends it down low again, but there's Morris. That one angled all the way out. Good collision. Ballard takes down Irwin, and that's going to be a penalty. There's a stick flying through the zone. Ballard now being pushed by the linesman toward the box. This could be a number of things, but I'm going to guess roughing or interference, but it looks like it's coincidental minors.
Yeah, they're both going. Cameron Irwin even is very upset. Threw Lex Ballard's stick right after the whole situation cleared up, trying to show the refs that his hand is bleeding, and this should be a major for Lex Ballard, but a lot of talking is going to be with the officials right now. 11 minutes, 24 seconds after the first. 1-0 Huskies up.
Lex Ballard is going to be assessed a roughing, while Irwin is assessed more of a technical foul. So that's interesting. Retaliation taking away a power play opportunity from the Huskies, and now we'll go to 4-on-4 hockey, which I believe still really favors the Huskies in their speed.
It really does, as we see on the Cougs have a man advantage, and it looks like the Huskies are still dominating. They almost look faster when on the PK. I wonder if that's something the coach is getting across to them, where you almost have to try harder on the PK. Cameron Irwin still going in the penalty box is very upset. The officials are still talking. It's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for about 2 minutes, it looks like.
Both Matt Cleaton and Johnny Lupinacci just kind of wondering what the explanation is here, but it will be 4-on-4. Coach Johnny Lupinacci for Wazoo is signaling a 4 as maybe it should have been a 4 minute. Not sure what the time is going to be assessed.
2 minutes for Lex Ballard, it looks like, as they just put on the clock. Cameron Irwin, that's going to be the questionable one because his is an after the whistle moment penalty. So that's where it gets a little confusing, and the officials probably don't know timing as much as they probably should or as we should know either.
And it looks like he will be getting 2 minutes as well. So coincidental minors from Ballard and Irwin. When Ballard absolutely took one there, but Irwin, again, retaliation. It looks like he is bleeding there in the penalty box. But playback underway, 11:20 to go with this 4-on-4. And look out. Here comes Eom moving on in. Save made by Cool. He blockered that one to the corner, and it's to the back again. There's Morris sending it across Williams. Walks toward the circle. Run in, and a shot again turned out by Cool. And Morris was pushed down to the ice, and Eom now having to back check. And the loose puck still around the red line and taken eventually by Keegan Lucas, who's just going to fire it cross ice in, and the Cougs will get a change.
This is what I was wondering, if the 2 less guys on the ice helps the Huskies out with more ice space.
Here's a shot that whistles right by the glove of Cool, and Morris quickly hurried one right on track. Nice bank pass ahead, but intercepted on a great back check by Williams, and the long reach of the stick broke that up. And with 1:06 to go on both minors, we will be at even strength then. But for now, we have a breakout here for the Cougs. Cole Carlson, he's going to have to make a big impact, but could not step by. Wolf looks to go the other way with a counterattack through the high slot, and a shot that goes by the glove. Wolf regaining control. Sending one back to the point. There's a one-timer by Williams that is held by Cool's glove on the bouncing puck with 10:08 to go in the first frame.
This is where the Huskies do dominate. Obviously more ice space, but they also make less mistakes than the Cougars. As you saw, that Eom had a breakaway just because of a bad tip pass and then slipping on the ice. Like, the ice is slippery. We do know that. We understand that. But the Cougs make way more mistakes than the Huskies, and that's showing just right now, even though it's still even play.
Christopher Williams also just was walking in through the circle and wound up and took a clap bomb there that was stopped by Cool. Luckily for the Cougs, as he gets this one as well with 9:57 to go. We saw this last night, a 1-0 game for the Huskies, and Cool stood on his head, keeping this game close. But that can't be the case again tonight for the Cougs. They have to get more offense. They have to break the puck out of their own zone.
And so far, this has been a better first period than it was last night. Oh, massive hit right there. My, oh, my.
Goodness. Cadence Kelly goes down hard into the Husky boards. He was crushed as this thing is kicked ahead. Passed through his own legs by Mullen, but to nobody. So Wolf comes in, dances around a couple, and to the corner he goes. Leaves it off, looking for Lampman, trying to race Robinson for it. Couldn't come out victorious, and Mullen now wrestles with the puck behind the cage.
The forecheck of the Huskies has just been putting the Cougs in a chokehold.
Matthew Taylor going to beat out the icing here on the missed pass. Just poked it toward the side of the net. Nash leaves it off for his teammate there in Lampman. Carlson retrieves the puck as we're back to even strength with 9:08 to go. Wolf, right circle, and a shot. Just getting a piece of the blocker for Cool, and he saw that. It looked like a slight screen there, but he's able to get it out. Lazaro now turning the puck over, and Colin Keenan again, who was scratched last night, hoping to make a big impact, gets to the head for his captain. It goes across ice, banking off the bottom of the bench. Good move there by Lazaro. He still has the puck through the right circle. Backhands one through to nobody. Carlson sends it onto the net and patted away. Back to Keenan, trying to keep it alive, and he does. Sending it down low. Konopka there for the Huskies. He'll fire it around the end board. Sahovinen to grab it on the other half wall. Sahovinen closed off by Needham. Needham swings it around the end board again. That one up the half wall for Sloan. Battling for it. Colin Keenan coming up big for the Cougs there to try and keep it alive, but Konopka now with full possession and now with speed.
With 8 minutes left in the first period, Huskies up 1-0. They're still pressing like they would if they were down.
Ferguson dropped it off for Britt, and a ripping shot goes high. The Huskies have been missing the net a lot too, as well as Cool just being a wall. Konopka tried to send one toward the net from the point, could not. Carlson now trying to grab his stick so he could poke it, but that one intercepted by Britt, and the loose puck scrambles out to the stick of Lazaro, who dumps it in and goes for a change, and Evan King after it for the Cougs. Huskies breaking it out. Here's Britt. Backhands one off the linesman, and the rolling puck he got right back. Stepping by Umale. Britt now poking it ahead for himself. Right circle. Holds on and shoots it. And that wide short side with 7:31 to go. Cougs will be able to break it out here, and can they get some offense as Evan King looking? He's leading the rush. He has Hank to drop it off to, but he'll shield the puck going around the cage. Konopka shielding him off, though, and this one is sent all the way down, and this will be an icing with 7:13 to go. 1-0 the Huskies still, and the Cougars still having trouble holding possession and getting any offense going.
Well, it's becoming a situation where they're making all the right moves, and as soon as they finally get into that zone, they think, because the man who usually gets in the zone, we just saw Evan King do it, we just saw Max Lazaro, who took a pretty big shot and looked like he hit his head on the ice. They get it in the zone and think they can do it all by themselves because they got past two men, but here comes another Husky. Here's another one, and another one. This is the point where we talked about passing. The passes have to be crisp, especially if you get one Husky to miss. That's a mistake that you have to capitalize on.
Truly is, as here's almost a turnover there from Bushkin, but he's able to clear it out of harm's way through center. Cougs now will try and just lift it out of the neutral zone, and they do, as it slowly glides in and then back up the half wall again, clearing it out to the neutral zone. Keegan Lucas connects with Mullen, sauced it ahead, nobody there. This one will be a delayed offside. Taylor chooses not to touch up on that one. The Cougs on a change, so this could be a chance for the Dogs, but just a hurried shot from center. A little bit of a late shove as Cool is there to grab it with 6:33 to go on a stoppage of play.
And you can tell earlier on in this game, animosity is building. It was a very aggressive game last night, and it's also looking very aggressive. A lot of big hits, a lot of frustrations already kind of rising so far in this game. But it's still only 1-0. We keep saying that the Huskies have dominated most part of this game. It's looking better for the Cougars than it was last night, but it's still only 1-0, and you can't be too upset for the Cougars.
Cougars just have to get some kind of breakout going, and they just can't here as well, as Yom carries this in offsides with 6:26 to go. And again, the Huskies just hungry. They look hungry. They look faster, and they look more physical right now than the Cougars. They just need to get their legs under them, and they just look tired.
Well, the Huskies are looking really fast, and I even saw it a little bit yesterday. The Cougs just look a little bit slower, a little bit like lackluster. There's just something not there, something they need to wake up.
In the corner, that is Yang. Breaking it out to Maloney. Maloney backhanding through the slot. Back to the point he comes. The puck went right to harm's way. Williams able to send that one off the high glass and still battling for it here at the point. No one coming in possession of this puck. Mullen now going back to get it as Yang now takes it in the corner. Yang drops that off for Eom. Eom looking for a man out front. That's Maloney. Looks to dangle. There's Maloney and a shot and a save made by Cool as it directs to the half wall on the other side. Morris and Yang. This one lifted again by Mullen, but could not be gotten out. Intercepted and cleared at least off the stick of Lazaro, but Morris again, relentless forecheck. Yang on the half wall, spins, loose puck comes to Carlson. Battling for it here, and it comes out toward the point, but Morris again just could not field the pass with 5:22 to go, but again, here they come. Morris dancing through a couple. Right circle and a shot. Never left the ice, but a save made. Another try. There's Lampman. Didn't go. And blocked around in front. And the loose puck kicks out to the half wall as there's Mullen looking to get it out, but can't. Down low to Lampman. Dances around Evan King. And Carlson now kicking it to himself as it's poked finally out and maybe a chance for the Cougars. But Robinson chooses on a tired Cougars line to dump it in and go for a change.
If you're honestly, that looked like a 2-on-1 was going to happen, but Lucas Robinson has been out there for look to be 3 minutes, a super long shift for him. And as a defense for the Cougs, you need to have as much stamina as you possibly need because this is a very fast Cougars team or Huskies team.
It's one of those things where you wonder why he didn't, but then you realize they had been out there a while. They needed to get off.
They kept pushing it out and then bringing it back in. There was about 3 pushes right there that ended up in shots.
There's a shot by Patterson directed just wide of the stick of Cool. Irwin in the corner, back to the point. Patterson again. Tried to send one on net, blocked down in front. Patterson take a big hit there from Evan King, my goodness. And Ballard now racing ahead. Ballard with Duncan Needham to beat, and he just sends it to the corner. Ballard, oh my goodness, he was crushed, and a penalty coming up against the Huskies. As the loose puck still being battled for in the corner, Cool got to the bench. Whistle still hasn't gone yet. Finally, it will as it's touched by Patterson. And we have, it looked like contact to the head was the signal from the official. And that is usually more than just a 2-minute minor.
Well, Lex Ballard took one right to the chin. It looked like the hit. It's almost like we were looking at an NFL game, and it was just like the helmet-to-helmet contact. It almost looked like he took a really big shot, but that doesn't happen if Lex Ballard doesn't push. And like I said, he looked really fast. and we have to start winning those battles as the Huskies are looking faster in almost every aspect. But with 3 minutes, 56 seconds left, Cougs on the power play, they can get something going starting now.
This could also be just another opportunity for the Huskies, though, as we've talked about. They have been dominant when they were shorthanded. It is only a 2-minute minor, so 150 left on the Irwin penalty on the hit to the head. The Cougs will try and get some offense going here on their special teams as Lazaro battling a man with the puck, and we're going to get another whistle, and the arm raise again, and the Huskies are irate. They're going to go to the box again. It's a hook, and their bench is incensed, and the penalty is going to be on Jake Ferguson, and a 5-on-3 for the Cougs. We have not seen this in this series. This finally could be the advantage the Cougars are looking for.
If you're the Cougars, you have to capitalize. It's the end of the first period. You are down. We saw something similar like this in the Western first game last Friday night. And something I do want to point out is Cameron Irwin, who already did that kind of battle against Lex Ballard. He was the one that hit Lex Ballard on the chin. So like we said, animosity building up. 5-on-3. Let's see if the Huskies can still look dominant like they usually do. Cougars with a big opportunity.
Keeping it alive was Hembry there. Push down to the ice, Bushkin. Sahoven and send it cross point, but again, a miss pass. So Hembry coming out back to the neutral zone. 1:20 to go on the initial penalty. Sahoven and back in his own zone, and the Cougars can't connect, and they're going backwards a little bit here. 1:12 left now on that man advantage. Time is ticking. They have to get going. Hembry looking to break it out. Here's Carlson. Over the center line, poked off, and look out. Here's a loose puck. It's Maloney moving in on the 5-on-3 shorthand. Save made by Cool, and he's sent right into the post, and Cool now is down, and he looks like he was slow to get up there from the butterfly position. He is back to his feet with 2:54 to go. The crowd was insane as Maloney was denied on a big shorthanded chance.
If you're the Cougs, that physically cannot happen. That cannot happen on a 5-on-3. You never see that. Alexia Cool, I would be so irate right now if I was him. It's 5-on-3. This is the first time you're supposed to have a guaranteed offensive set. And the Cougs, they don't look like they're on the same page. There's passes just a little too far, a little bit too behind. You got to get something going. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left in the first period. Huskies up, still 5-on-3 for about a minute.
You have to be able to string passes together, and the Cougars just can't. Lucas establishing the zone, and there's a penalty coming up now against the Cougs. A little whistle happy are these officials, and they're back at it here. Ung is going to give 2 minutes for a hook, and it's going to be Matthew Taylor going to the box. So now 4-on-3 hockey, and of course, the rarest power play in the sport.
Yeah, 4-on-3 in Cougar zone. Don't see that too much in hockey. Also, I didn't see the call. It might have been a little late, but it's just a very weird situation happening right now. We've had back-to-back calls like this, Zach, where it's 4-on-3 on the power play.
Absolutely. Something about you and I being on the broadcast, and 4-on-3's bunch of penalties. We talked about there was minimal last night, and there's probably already the same amount that there was last night that has happened tonight. Robinson holding on at the left circle. Into the corner. Lucas just sent one toward the front, and that one ticked aside. Carlson tumbling down to the ice, and it's picked up, and it's Lampman, the guy you don't want if you're the Cougs. Looking, sending it across, and just off the stick of Konopka, and it goes to the half wall. And again, the Huskies just killing this perfectly with now 14 seconds to go. This one sent again. Lampman over the red line. We'll go 1-on-3. Nice move on by, and Cool has to just swipe it away. Now 5 seconds to go. Carlson has slipped a couple of times tonight. Not sure what's going on there.
Well, the Cougs finally got it set up in the zone. Had some good passes, 1 or 2 shots, and of course that would happen in the situation. Cole Carlson, one of the better players on this Cougar team, probably is the best player on this team, only 4 points away from 100, slips and falls, and it leads to almost a Lampman breakaway.
The all-time point leader went down, and Lampman almost had a breakaway and then had Konopka and just couldn't quite connect. But Ballard now with speed. We talked about this. That's going to be huge as he just flips one toward the net. Nash sends it aside, and a breakout opportunity. Here come the Dogs. Pushed in by Morris, wearing the C on his shoulder for the purple and gold. Ballard in behind his own cage. Just sends that one to high glass, almost out. There's no net right there here, so that almost struck someone.
Yes.
Very close in the crowd, but it stayed in at the very high glass. 65 seconds to go. Ballard off a skate there, tried to clear it, and it will eventually go off the skate of Morris as a clear by Lazaro to the neutral zone.
And with that in mind, we do have to bring up that the Huskies are on a quick 10-second power play now that everyone is going to be out of the bench.
Britt wrestling with Clark to the corner, sent one out in front. Might be a chance for a break out of the box. Ahead for Taylor. He's one-on-one, and he just twirls it into the zone. 39 to go. Nash in behind his own net, fielding the puck, sending it for Morris out of harm's way from number 5. That's Taylor. Rolling puck in the blue line, kept alive by Bushkin. Leading the rookie freshman in points, and a penalty coming up again. Cool was headed to the bench. This means the Cougs will go right back to the power play, and this will be a minor penalty coming up against Taylor Sloan. And the call is a high stick. That's 2 high stickings tonight.
Well, I truly have no words for what's happening. We've already had, I want to say, combined 12 minutes and penalties in this first period, and it's only 1-0. 1-0. Zach, that is almost unheard of. 12-minute penalties. There hasn't been a power play goal yet, too, with that in mind. The only goal this game has been 5-on-5, not 3-on-5, not 4-on-3, not a power play goal, nothing. If you're the Cougs, please, just for Coach Lupinacci's sake, get the power play going, get something going. 25 seconds left. Huskies clear the first faceoff.
And the Dogs have been on the wrong end of pretty much all of it. They've had about 10 seconds of power play time. And again, back to shorthanded. But again, that helps them quite a bit. Wyatt Perry out there playing forward there on this line. Lazaro working in, shooting. That one kicked out. And it is swept clear with 3 seconds. Time will tick down here in the first frame. That's going to do it for period 1. The Huskies will have a shorthanded point for about a minute 34 still when we come back to the second period. But again, lots of the same as last night as far as what the Cougars, how they performed, what they're doing out there, but very different when we talk about penalties and discipline. My, oh my.
Yes, it has been incredible. Like I said, the Cougs still haven't been the better team from like the eye test from that kind of point of view. The Huskies still are looking really good as they are a really good team, but they look way better than they did last night. And obviously, maybe it can be a little bit more upset. Maybe you can be a little happier. It's only a 1-0 hockey game. If you're the Huskies, team captain right now is talking to the refs to see what's going on with all these penalty calls. And it's number 77, Peter Konopka, one of the defensemen. There's been a lot of penalties, Zach. Even the Cougs have been in the bench once or twice. And obviously, tensions are rising. It's only the first period. It's still a 1-0 game. I can't state that enough. It's been crazy. I'm almost out of words. What is something you want to see from both teams coming into the second period? It wasn't really awkward and kind of weird first period, but something both teams can improve on.
I think the Huskies can really improve on stringing their grade A chances together just a little bit, finishing those opportunities. We saw Konopka over here just off his blade. That could have been something. Honestly, Landman could have taken that himself as well. He kind of chose to stop and look for Konopka. I think finishing their chances, and the Cougs just stringing passes together on a basic level. I mean, they are having so much trouble connecting to one another, and that's not what you want to see from a team, especially on night 2 against a team like the Huskies. But I'll tell you what, the song Up Down's playing right now, and that's what the referee's arm has been doing all night long so far. A very fitting song. What can you might say as Coach Johnny Lupinacci in that locker room to get the boys fired up for the Cougars? Because, again, they look a little bit tired.
Well, because something that I would bring up if I was Coach Lupinacci was we're a little bit in their head. Regardless if we're not getting a lot of goals, regardless if there's not a lot of shots on net, they're a little irate. They're a little upset with the referees right now. There's something. They're not just perfectly on their game. Yes, it's one game we're losing, but there's a lot happening with referees. Like, it's a mind game. Hockey's obviously physical, but it's also very big on the mind game, especially for a goalie. And when the WSU Cougars do get set up in the zone, has been very rarely, but like that last 20 seconds we were on the power play, gotta go, we get shots up. And that's what happened yesterday. When we do set up in the zone, we can see a lot of situations where that could get past Jonah Nash, or yesterday, like it was Zach Reddy. But another thing I have to say is on the power plays, stop letting breakaways go. You guys have to maybe take away a pass, maybe clear the puck. Like I said, I don't want to see more icing, but I'd rather see an icing. And then there was 3 breakaways when we had the man advantage, and that cannot happen. Looking to be an exciting second period, Zach. What are we thinking?
Lots of turnovers in the neutral zone we saw from the Cougars. They have to be able to clean that up. As we're watching Team Yellow versus Team Blue right now, we're going to let you go to that. But again, the Cougars down 1-0. Huskies still have to kill some power play time when we get back. We're headed to the second. Don't you go away. I'm Zach McFarland with Connor Simmons on KUGR.
Nothing. Both teams are playing, kind of garbage hockey.
Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Zach. We are down on the ice with head coach Lupinacci after the first period of action.
with 4 minutes remaining until the start of the second period. Cougs on the power play. Let's see if one of these teams get on the power play. But before all of that, let's send it down to Smith Slide, who was able to get an interview with Coach Lupinacci.
Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Zach. We're down on the ice with head coach Lupinacci after the first period of action in game 2 of this Apple Cup series. Coach Lupinacci, the score 1-0 heading into this second period of action. What did you see from the Huskies in that first period that maybe impressed you a little bit?
Nothing. Both teams are playing, kind of garbage hockey. They're really just scrambling around, and they popped a pretty greasy goal in. That's how hockey goes. So we're in this, we got to get our power play moving. They're taking penalties like we expected them to tonight. And, refs are calling a closer game, which means the power play's got to produce. And so if they can get it done, we're right back in this game, no problem. But it's pretty sloppy hockey. I mean, the ice is a little bit choppy, but no excuses. Guys got to adjust, and they got to dig in and grind.
Of course, Alexi Cool yesterday absolutely stood on his head. We talked about that a lot on the broadcast. I mean, so far in the first period, he's stopped a lot of quality shots. He's kept it 1-0 so far. How impressed are you so far with Alexi Cool?
He's always back there doing his job. I mean, he's a stalwart in the net, and so he's getting the job done, keeping the boys in it, and they got to answer back, get some goals here.
You touched on it a little bit as well, but what will it take for the Cougs? You guys have been on the doorstep a couple of times with some scoring opportunities. What's it going to take for you guys to finally break through and get onto the score sheet in period number 2?
I mean, just keep grinding. Stop trying to dangle the puck and just more hard-nosed hockey. You got to go to the front of the net. Their one goal is a crash the net goal, right? So that's what you got to do in these games that are close. You got to go hard to the net, get pucks there, and then grind. So we'll get there.
Absolutely.
Well, with that interview in mind, still 2 minutes and 20 seconds till the beginning of the second period. It sounds like Coach Lupinacci is saying it perfectly. Everything down to the last little bit. He's saying what should be happening. From going to sloppy passes, got to be crispier on the offensive zone, and the power play's got to do something. It has to. With 12 minutes from both teams combined, a power play goal has to be expected at this point. It's almost due. Like you're playing baseball. You have to be due. Zach, with that in mind, second period, what did Coach Lupinacci say? What did speak to you?
Well, he said something that's very quite true. He said both teams are playing garbage hockey.
Yep.
Just sloppy. They're kind of wrestling around, scrambling around a lot. He touched on that. He touched on that the ice is choppy. We saw Carlson fall in there at center a couple of times. But again, no excuses. Both teams really not playing good hockey. The Cougs unable to take advantage of any power play, 5-on-3, 5-on-4, anything at all. They gave up a breakaway on the 5-on-3. They gave up a 2-on-1 on their shorthand. They are not creating any chances for themselves despite having the advantage. The Dogs are, in fact, taking advantage of them being shorthanded, and the Huskies only 10 seconds of power play time, I do believe, out of all those different penalties that we've seen, and combined for probably more than what we saw in last night's whole game. So both teams have to be better at discipline, especially we saw Irwin. He took 2 penalties there.
Yes.
One hit to the head. One was a retaliation technical. He's having a tough game discipline-wise. But the Huskies, again, 1-0. They've scored a greasy goal. As Coach Lupinacci said in that interview, that's what it's going to have to be against both goalies. Cougs look strong. Reddy hasn't been called on too much, but when he has, he's been great. What are the Cougars going to have to do to start this period and try and get some momentum early on?
Well, we talked about it, and even like you just said, Coach Lupinacci brought it up, a greasy goal. Usually the Huskies are known for the pass, great shot, scores, but that wasn't what we kind of saw on the one goal. And we talked about that. Just get a goal. Doesn't matter how you get it. Doesn't matter where you get it. A goal is a goal, and that's what the Huskies, you just have to be thinking if you're the Huskies. Let's just score on him. And you're Coach Lupinacci and the Cougars, you're thinking just score on Jonah Nash. Not a lot of shots have been put on Nash, but every time the teams are in each other's zones, they're getting shots up. Yes, the Huskies way more. We completely understand that. But when the Cougs do get in their zone and are passing around and no slips, I know everything seems to go wrong, but you have to be able to set up and get some more shots up on the net as both teams are coming on the ice with the second period underway. Huskies up 1-0. Cougars have 1 minute and 34 seconds left on their power play. Let's see if the power play can get going early on in the second period, as we had an early first period goal. Maybe the Cougs did early second period goal.
Yeah, 3 minutes in. I mean, we saw a goal there from the Huskies. That one came from Cameron Smith. Just kind of a weird one there. Loose puck, just bounced through cool off the stick of Smith. But again, this has to be something where the Cougars just finally take advantage of their man advantage and do something here. String some passes together, connect, and honestly just look like they have played together before.
Yes.
Right now, the chemistry is awful, to say the least.
No doubt about it. If you're the Cougs, this is a great start. You have a man advantage to start a period where you're almost starting fresh. An early goal could make this game start fresh and make it 1-1. As the faceoff is won by the Huskies, no surprise there. Cleared in. Alexi Cool touches Sam Hembry. Oh,
Phantom whistle from the linesman. He
Yes.
forgot that there was a penalty, so he called an icing.
if you're Coach Fibonacci, you said it's been a tight game, but that just can't be happening as the Huskies were about to blow a fuse. That was about to get crazy. I was a little shocked, but still, 6 seconds were cleared away from the clock. A minute 28 seconds left on the power play. Cougs do win this one all the way to Sam Hembry. A bad pass leads to number 12, Max Lazaro, covering the puck up. Let's see if the Cougs can get it going. Still running into each other. Zach, you said they're not on the same page. That's one of those moments right there. Sam Hembry bringing it all by himself, clears it into the zone. Jordan Nash can't get the bouncing puck. Max Lazaro leaves it for a Coug, and it's once again cleared away.
The
No, it's not
Huskies just
cleared away.
look great right now. They do.
They do look great, and they're pushing it once again. Offsides is going to be called. The hand was raised for number 18, Andreas. Anthony Andreas was just a little too far right there. 57 seconds left in the power play, at 19 minutes, 22 seconds left in the second period.
Yeah, and I don't know necessarily. I might take my comment back. I don't know if the Huskies look great or if the Cougars are making them look great. Constant missed passes and just mistakes over and over and over, and they're just wasting away yet another power play.
It's almost a situation as the Huskies get a steal, looking to get something in front of the net. Nothing found, though. Still, the Huskies look like they're on the power plays. They're killing it once again. Like I was saying, the Huskies, they just look like they're scaring the Cougars. Like the Cougs are just scared. They're not playing their own game. Puck's cleared. Sam Hembry's going to try and clear back up to Cole Carlson, and a missed pass. All the way down to number 77, Kanapika. 30 seconds left on the power play. Cougs haven't got much going. Evan King can't get a stick on it, and it is cleared once again.
And just a relay clear there to Jake Ferguson. And again, 22 seconds left on this power play. Nothing, absolutely nothing to show for it from Wazoo here. They just have to get something going. And another missed pass there to Umale.
Umale just can't get a stick under it, and that will most likely be the last clear unless the Cougs can bring it in. Cole Carlson been on a long shift. Has been playing for the first 2 minutes of the second period. Maybe he can get something going. As Evan King, bad pass leads to a steal. Lampman tries to get a shot. Good tip away by number 7, Hank Hamlet, getting a stick on it there. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Back in front of the net, Alexi Cool goes down into the butterfly, tipped away wide, though. Huskies passing in between themselves on the boards. Scrum, Lucas Robinson against them. Cole Carlson playing a long shift, still going. All the way to number 22, Umale. Umale still with puck possession, doing a good job there. Tries to go to Hank Hamlet, cleared in the Husky zones. Carlson's able to get off the ice. Huskies battling with each other still. Good crisp passes all the way over to Wolf, just under his skate, and it is cleared. Icing's going to be called, heading back into a Washington Husky zone with 17 minutes, 49 seconds left. Huskies up 1-0.
Well, I'll tell you what, I see Ian Gould over there, Cougar legend. He was the all-time leading point scorer before Cole Carlson came along. Obviously graduated this past season. He's got to be getting the boys fired up, of course, and he's got to just want this win so bad for them. But again, they just have to get offense going a little bit, and they just can't.
Cougars win the puck. Try to get something on net. Big hit right there and a big shot right there as the Cougs are able to get something a little bit. Derek Wolf slammed on the boards. Another big hit. Tumbling to the ground. The puck is nowhere to be found. Able to clear it back in is number 21, Reed Mullen. Cougars somewhat got some puck possession time right there in Husky zone. Cleared all the way. Reed Mullen's touching it by Alexi Cool. Swings all the way to Lucas Robinson. Back to Reed Mullen in his own zone. Mullen clears it out. Good passing right there. Reed Mullen putting some crisp passes together. David Bushkin once again scored the goal last night. Fighting against the Husky. No holding's going to be called. Bushkin slams against the boards. And the Huskies are able to clear it out and push once again.
And Bushkin might have gotten away with one there as that one's played by a high stick.
Not going to be called. Lampman just keeps playing like nothing even happened. Needham, defenseman for the Huskies, clears it into the zone. Reed Mullen couldn't get his stick there in time. Something against board, Cameron Irwin. And a penalty is going to be called for tripping as Lucas Robinson loses his stick, and Cameron Irwin finally gets a little revenge right there as he's been in the penalty box 2 times, and he felt like the refs have been against him all day, but Lucas Robinson heads to the box.
He goes from getting one to drawing one, and he is going to draw a cross-check from Lucas Robinson, the highest scoring defenseman for the Cougars, and a great penalty killer. So this is going to be huge for the Dogs. They could really take away the game right here from the Cougars unless the Cougars can start just getting something together. What I did like from down here in their chance over when they had a little bit of puck position, they shot from a bad angle. Just start shooting the puck. Just get it on net. Things will happen. Mad scrambles, and again, greasy goals, just like Coach Johnny Lupinacci said.
Well, and that's what you got to think. You talked about in the locker room. It doesn't matter. Like we physically said, it doesn't matter how you score. You have to score. The Huskies on a power play. We haven't seen them in a 5-on-4 power play in a good while, especially since all the penalties have been called. Let's see if the Huskies can get something going and maybe make this a 2-0 hockey game. Huskies win face-off. Oh, no. Cougars win face-off and are able to clear. Cole Carlson's first run of the race. Jonah Nash touches it. Cole Carlson can make a good play right here. Nothing. Jonah Nash clears it to Cameron Irwin. 16 minutes, 35 seconds left in this first period. Slow start for both teams so far. Here come the Huskies on their power play. 34 by himself. Cameron Britt going behind the net. Alexico shoves a man off. Leon Draisaitl style. Still Husky with the puck possession. Cameron Irwin maybe looking to get something going. Right back in front. Almost found. Cameron Britt just going to get a stick there in time. A bad pass leads to a clear by the Huskies in their own power play. A minute 20 left in the power play. 16 minutes left in the second period. Smulisha Hovinen with a steal.
Look out.
Oh, and he just can't get a stick on it. Almost a great opportunity right there for Smulisha Hovinen and the Cougars. Good penalty kill so far.
Good forecheck from the Cougars. They have a little bit of life shorthanded. Who knew that they'd play just a little bit better with a guy down rather than a guy advantage?
Irwin and Morris by themselves all the way to Britt at the point. Britt rips one on net high, wide right. Swings all the way to number 8, Christopher Williams at the point. All the way down to Morrison. Behind the net, Alexi Cool in Gretzky's office. A shot trickles away from Alexi Cool and skates by his neck, and Cole Carlson's able to clear it. 44 seconds left in the power play, 15 minutes left in the period. Maloney trying to get the Huskies back in the zone. Tries to pass it, no one there. Lex Ballard's having a good start to this game. Bad pass right there. Lex Ballard gets it right back and clears it. Able to get rid of his mistake real fast.
This is a great look for the Cougars on the penalty kill and maybe a momentum booster. Maybe this is exactly what they need to just get going. We've seen even some good chances, some of their best that they've had tonight. That's not saying too much, but they have definitely looked better here.
Taylor Sloan dancing with the puck. Up in front to the point is Wolf. Over to Lampman. Lampman, one of the better players in the division. Back to Wolf, 91-92, going back and forth between each other. Jackie Moon style. Lampman rips one, scores! My, oh my, Lampman! Oh, they're calling it off. They're calling it off, nothing. What are they going to say? The ref has called it off. It's not going to be a power play goal.
Goaltender interference, it looks like it's going to be called. I'm not sure if it's going to be a minor penalty or if it's just going to be called off here. This is insanity. There's booze raining down here at the Kraken Iceplex, and now there's a bit of a discussion between the officials here. Huskies, palms in the air, really not sure what's going on. Cool was complaining right after the goal. We don't know what's going to come from this here.
The Lampman shot did light the lamp as it went 5-hole, but they called it off almost immediately, which makes it seem like it was pretty official and that it was pretty much due. Are they going to call a penalty? So is it going to be 4-4 for 2 seconds, or is it just going to be no goal, you think?
It looks like it's just going to be called off due to no goal, and they won't give a minor penalty.
Oh, man, the Cougs catch a break.
Wow, they do. I mean, you cannot let arguably their best player on the team just walk right through the circle with no pressure. He had all the time in the world and just got close, made a shot. It went right in. But again, like you said, Cougars get a huge break.
And now we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. There was only 2 seconds left. But if you're the Huskies, you're really upset right now. Andreas with the puck loses it. Trying to keep it in the zone, and it is kept in the zone. All the way behind the net. Another Husky shot in front, trickles away. Sam Henry was able to get a stick in there. Number 7, Brandon Consolo, able to clear it away, but Max Ozaro tries to get a pass up to David Bushkin, who got the late time goal in the third period that kept the Cougars alive last night. Bad clear attempt by Keegan Lucas, rocking his new number, 34. Keegan Lucas falls to the ground. No trippings there, though. At the point is a Husky, though. Finds it. Husky's able to retrieve fast again. Shot! Lexico's able to save it. Might go to backhand. No thought about it. Han Solo by himself shoots one, rips one on net. Nothing again. Keegan Lucas is able to get in front of another Husky shot. David Bushkin pushes him. Solo still fighting. What a shift for him as he's having. Lucas clears it and is finally able to get past the half-court line. 13 minutes, 40 seconds left in this second period. Still a 1-0 game. The Lampman goal is called off.
It almost looked like that got momentum going for the Dogs. They were a little frustrated with that goal being called off, and they're jumping on the Cougars right now. And a lot of this game in the recent couple minutes has just been played on the left half of the red line.
And the Cougs need to find a way to get some of their defensemen off, as Alexi Cool does the perfect thing for that. Slows the game down, allowing some guys like Keegan Lucas, Max Cesaro to sub off as they were dead tired, and the Dogs were just putting on them.
They absolutely were. They were going to work. And you think maybe there was only a few seconds left on that initial penalty from Robinson, but it looked like they were shorthanded the whole time. They were just getting hemmed in their own zone. The Dogs were going to work, and the Cougars, fresh bodies, hopefully can get it out here.
Backhand shot, trying to trick away. Alexi Cool's able to get a pad on it, and it goes high. Another stick in the way. Cougs doing a good job again. Their sticks, or the Huskies doing a good job again. Their sticks on everything, not letting passes go through. Colin Keenan battling with Needham, the defenseman, down in Cougar zone by himself. Smooth Owen slams on the boards. Lucas Robinson gets slammed. He falls to the ground. Colin Keenan still battling, doing a good job right now. Shot Needham, the defenseman. Nothing there. As he's able to catch it, Alexi Cool doing a good job catching it. The Needham wrist shot. Needham's talking to the refs right now, thinking a penalty should have got called, but nothing.
It looks like he's pointing to the corner. I'm not sure what he is trying to articulate there, but he doesn't seem very happy as he goes back to the bench with Coach Matt Cleaton and the boys. But 12:47 to go in this period. This looks like more of the same, quite frankly, from both teams here. We've seen flashes from the Cougs. We've now seen flashes from the Huskies. But at the end of the day, they're not capitalizing on either of their chances.
12 minutes, 45 seconds left in the second period. Needham was wanting a call on the Smooth Sahovan and hit on the boards. Nothing there. Still 5-on-5 hockey. Huskies still just battling in Cougar zone. The offensive time is through the roofs this game. Still with puck possession, trying to get something in front of the net. No, Colin Keenan's able to get it out. Yes, he's by himself. Clears behind the net of Alexi Cool. Cougs still can't get puck possession. Back to the point to a Huskies defenseman. Rips one on net. Hits a guy in front. No, it doesn't. Alexi Cool's able to glove it down and flash some leather.
Seeing eye shot, but again, who saw it better? That was Alexi Cool. He, again, just doing what the team needs him to do, just like Doug Glatt. If the team needs him to bleed, he'll bleed, and he's doing that tonight. He is an animal right now in the net. Nothing can get by this guy other than, of course, that one goal, Cameron Smith breaking the tie early on, but again, not much seen since then.
Matthew Taylor loses the zone faceoff against Jake Ferguson, not the Cowboys tight end, the Huskies hockey player. Huskies with puck possession. Back to Jake Ferguson. Rips one on net. Able to steer it down as Alexi Cool. Another slap shot. Tips wide left, and there's a man on Alexi Cool, and there's going to be a fight, and there's some pushing and shoving, yeah. And a big hit right here as Williams hits David Bushkin at center of the ice. A lot is happening. It looks to be Darren Morrison fell on top of Alexi Cool, and obviously the Huskies aren't going to allow that and pushing and shoving. David Bushkin took a shot right here in center ice. My, oh my, Alexi Cool is just sitting down. What is happening in this hockey game?
One thing that I think that's interesting is out of all of that, never did I once see the arm of an official come up. So it would be just on brand for no penalties to come from this after what we've seen tonight. But again, we don't know who's going to get it. Alexi Cool looks like he's kind of recovering from that right now. He was balled over there by, it looks like, a couple of buddies. We don't really know what's going to happen with the situation. We have an official standing here at center looking like he's ready to call something. We have linesmen discussing, and we have Micah Clark over there with the other orange stripes just talking about it.
It looks
really
like
not
it's
sure.
4-on-4. Yeah, it looks, or no. I truly don't know. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I thought it was going to be 4-on-4 and it was going to be easy call, but we're still at 5-on-5. Alexi Cool and some of his boys are talking to him. Yes, they're calling something on the Cougs. So the Huskies look to be going back on the power play. It's going to be number 16, Micah Clark, who was protecting Alexi Cool. Darren Morrison had a Sam Bennett moment and fell on Alexi Cool, or pretended to fall on him. It's still a 1-0 hockey game. 12 minutes left in the second period, and the Huskies are going back on the power play, but the Cougs did have a good penalty kill last time they were up here. Let's see if maybe Lampman can get his goal back. I don't know what's happened in this game, Zach. It's been pretty exciting. It's been a 50-50 coin flip referee game so far.
That it has been, and it looks like the Huskies going to go back to work. They might have some momentum here.
Lampman from his same spot where he scored the first one. Tips. Nothing there. Lampman still in his zone, and he throws a stick, and the whistle's going to be called immediately. This is a crazy, very entertaining game. It's only a 1-0 game. You wouldn't think it would be that entertaining. It has been super fun. Funny, some might say, but what a hockey game we have in store. As what is even that call for throwing a stick?
I've seen it only a couple of times. Usually guys do it on empty nets. But, man, we're going to have a penalty. It's going to be against Peter Konopka. It looks like for interference, we saw a stick go flying.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, right now it just looks like what team wants it less.
Yeah. Like Coach Lupinacci said it, it's like both hockey teams aren't playing good right now. And Peter Konopka just, I don't know if that was frustration or just like trying to get under the skin. He physically threw the stick away. That you can't think that's not a penalty, in my opinion. Now this just hurts Jonah Nash. We have 4-on-4 hockey for it looks to be 12 seconds, and the Cougs will have a 12-second power play. But 1-0 hockey game, 11 minutes, 30 seconds left. Here comes the Huskies. Wolf and Lampman, 2-on-1 by themselves. Lampman, good job right there. Smooth Hogan's able to get a stick on it. And the Cougars were able to get back and not let a shot get on Alexi Cool. Hembry clears around the boards just to an open space on the ice. Lampman's able to recover. In the far face-off circle, tries to make a move. Sam Hembry closes again. Slap shot, number 9, Darren Morrison from the point. Williams tries to clear the zone. Oh, little forecheck, I guess you could say. Still no call there on Williams. Lampman bringing it in by himself, loses the puck. Max Lazaro with puck possession. Clears it all the way. No, he can't. An icing's going to be called with about a minute left on the 4-on-4 and 11 minutes exactly in the second period. 1-0 hockey game, Huskies up. What is happening right now, Zach? Do you have any idea what's happening?
I can't say I have an answer. This is something else. I mean, again, maybe we jinxed it with the amount of penalties you brought up about last night. This has absolutely cleared anything I've really ever seen. Again, but we talked about them missing opportunities, the Cougars. Carlson wide open there at the blue line. That could be a one-on-one opportunity with your best guy. You just can't hit him, and it's an icing. And luckily, they're able to clear it out here, but you don't want to give the Huskies another offensive zone chance on another icing.
Hembry battling against Morrison. Clears out to Eom. Moving pretty fast. Some might say like a car. Eom moving in front of the net. No, can't get it there. Cleared all the way out to Williams, who has a lot of space by himself. Williams looks like he's going to shoot it if he can get puck possession. No, couldn't get that puck possession. Shot at Morrison. Hits the post. Cows are coming with that ring. Morrison had a lot of shots this game. Let's see if he can get something to go. Lazaro able to get a good check. Cole Carlson looking to beat Williams out. Sam Hembry battled off by Logan Maloney. Logan Maloney going to the net. And actually Cool is able to get in front of that. And yeah, pushing and shoving happened once again. Like it's a real hockey. Oh, another one. Alexei Cool is throwing some hands. And this is just no comment at this point. A big, oh my God. Yeah, fight's breaking out and punches are thrown. Punches are thrown right now.
Alexei Cool getting in the mix as well.
Needham, yep. Coach Lupinacci's irate. What is happening? And some more punches are thrown on the other side of the ice. What is happening? The refs can't get this game under control because of their calls right now. This is unbelievable.
The Stripes have absolutely lost control of this game. This is insanity.
This is some battle of the apple play. Everybody's going to the bench. Coach Lupinacci's upset. UW's coach is upset. Everybody on the ice is upset. Like you just said, the refs have lost control of this game because of how bad the play calling or how bad the refs have been.
I'll tell you what, brotherly love has never been more right now than it is in this in-state rivalry. Historically, it's looked this way in any sport, and right now it is not disappointing. 1-0 still, the game is, with, again, 12 seconds left on the initial penalty to Clark, and then the Cougars will go to the power play for about 12 seconds, but that was before the huge scrum. Now the officials are going to be discussing something here. We genuinely might get here about 18 penalties.
There might be whole starting lineups in the bench right now as Keegan Lucas comes in with Micah Clark. There's 3 Huskies in the bench right now, or the Cougs might be on the power play. It looks to be 4-on-3, the rarest power play it looks to be again. Like I truly don't understand. Both Morrison and Cole Carlson, Melissa Hoven are talking to a ref right now to clear everything up. Alexia Cool might get a penalty. I don't know. Is that maybe why Keegan Lucas came in? Because Alexia Cool was throwing punches, and you think a penalty would be called. The ref is talking right now to see and clear everything's up. There's 10 minutes, 11 seconds left in the second period. It's a 1-0 hockey game. It's still a game. A lot of confusion. We do not know what's happening. Punches were thrown for a fact, so I wouldn't be surprised if some people were thrown out of this game.
Absolutely. I mean, they can't do that here at this level. Cool looked incensed when he was talking to Robinson near the crease, and now there's a discussion here with the linesman. Meanwhile, Sahovinen is discussing with, I believe that's Carlson and a Husky there with the official, and a pat to Sahovanen as he comes over to, I'm assuming, give the long laundry list of calls. But now it looks like he's going to go over to the Huskies bench. Matt Clayton and Coach Johnny Bonacci, both coaches, I would want an explanation of everything that just transpired there in front of the Cougars net.
Heck, we're calling the game. We don't know what's happening. I want an explanation. This is to the point where I want to say, because there's 3 Huskies in the bench right now, or in the penalty box, and there's only 2 Cougs, but both of the first initial power plays or both penalties are 24 seconds and 12 seconds away from getting called off. So I'm wondering if it's going to be 4-on-3 for the 12 seconds or if it's going to be 5-on-4. I don't know what's still. The refs are talking to each other. Lexi Cool and Lucas Robinson having a long conversation. Probably Lucas Robinson just telling them to keep a cool-headed as they need him in this game. A lot of shots on Lexi Cool, but he's kept it only to 1 goal on him.
He has, and he cannot get in his head with this. It looked like he was just frustrated. He had been contacted twice, and it looked like Morris was there both times. He got balled over the first time, and then the second time, Morris again. He was right in the middle of that. Cool had had enough. He had lost his cool, and now we get to a point here where the list of penalties is not going to fit on the scoreboard here at the Iceplex, and we really don't know. And now there's a very long break, which on top of everything could change momentum in some way or another with guys getting rest and just things happening. The horns going off here in the building. We really don't know what's going on.
The purge might happen. We don't know right now, Zach. A lot is happening. The refs, I have a feeling they don't know what's kind of happening right now or what to call, even as that was really weird. Coach Lupinacci's going to talk to you right now. All the players are listening, and here come the calls right now, I believe, or maybe some call to action, or he's opening the penalty box for – oh, no, he's coming into the score stand to talk to the scoreboard runner just to get everything figured out. It looks like there's no more people going to the bench or no more players going to the bench or penalty boxes. So there's going to be 3 Huskies in the penalty box and 2 Cougars. So that should lead to 4-on-3 is what I would assume. But there's 4 Huskies on the ice right now and only 3 Cougars.
And obviously what we've learned from this game, if anything, is throw all of our assumptions out the window. I mean, this is something that's you could have guessed it was going to be some kind of chippy game. But again, like we said, the Zebras have absolutely let this one go. Haven't seen something like that in ever, really.
And something we do have to bring up is, hey, Zach, we study quite a bit coming up to this week, probably 3 hours plus. And something I want to bring out, just they practice every single day. You can't practice what just happened. I think both kind of teams will come out a little bit slow, I would assume, depending who has the man advantage and who doesn't, or they just took penalties off. So it's going to be 5 minutes, obviously, for Keegan Lucas and maybe 2 Huskies. Again, we don't know what's happening, but I would assume both teams kind of start, because they just don't know what's happening. They're a little probably starstruck as the ref comes and talks to one of the Huskies as Needham's coming out of the penalty box. Gets a round of applause. I don't know what for. He didn't do much.
Looks like Needham's getting cleared of whatever he was serving. And now Coach Lupinacci's kind of asking the question, a little bit of a smile on his face. Not sure if it's sarcastic. Can't really read it. But you just got to wonder what is going on.
So it's looking like it's going to be 5 minutes for Keegan Lucas and Logan Maloney is what I would assume for the fighting. And then we're going to have 4-on-4 for about 12 seconds. And the Cougs will have 12 seconds of power play. Oh, no. Another Cougs come to the bench. Number 27, Ryan Brenner. So it's almost flipped now. Very confusing stuff. I apologize for the viewers at home if you're confused. We're also confused right now, but there's 3 Cougars in the penalty box and only 2 Huskies now. Coach Lupinacci's really confused. The Huskies, who look to have the advantage, are really confused. I'm going to say this again. They're going to come out starstruck, a little lackluster. Nobody in the building knows what's happening, which is something that cannot happen in a high-stakes matchup like the Apple Puck.
100%. And we see guys coming to the bench. Guys for the purple and gold come from the bench. You have fans to the right of us wearing crimson. They scream and they yell. And then they have that guy come off. And then they bring a Cougar back on. And now to the left of us, the purple and gold, they're screaming, they're yelling. No one really knows what's going on. They're just looking at what's going on. And now we're getting another, and it's Duncan Needham going right back to the box. And so the cheering has flipped sides yet again. We have booing from the left now. This is incredible. And we're back to 4-on-4 hockey after all of this.
I hate to, it's really disappointing that the game's come to this. The refs have lost complete control of the game. The players don't know what's happening. This isn't even hockey at this point because of how bad the referees have been.
This is certainly something. I can't believe this.
And they're still figuring things out right now, talking to the scorekeeper. There's still 10 minutes, still half the period left to go. This has been a long second period. I truly am lost for words. It's going to be 4-4. I'm trying to explain it the best of my ability, but I don't know what's happening anymore, Zach.
No can do, Connor. This is something that's unexplainable. You had already what's been a long second period, stoppages of plays and everything, but now you have this, and this had to have been a 5 to 10 minute break in the action of almost mostly discussion. Yes, there was the scrum, but then the officials explaining to Coach Lupinacci for the Cougars, explaining to Coach Matt Cleaton for the Huskies, and explaining to the players, explaining to the timekeepers area. And now it looks like we're maybe going to finally get back in play. And the Cougars now again shorthanded for a 4-on-3 as Carlson goes off to the bench. And it looks like the rubber biscuit's finally going to get dropped.
So we got some rare power plays, 4-on-3. They can't even stop the music right now. It's still playing and the action's going on. This is just super confusing. Smiley Sahoven battling with Lampman. They still are playing the music. It's 4-on-4. This is crazy what is happening. Lampman brings it in, tries to make a move. Lex Ballard having a good game so far. He's able to get it out. Just a bad pass or a pass, and he slammed into the penalty box. They have to call something as he opened it. What is happening? You can't make this up. Kanapika opened it on. It almost looked like a planned play.
This is something else. There has to be some kind of explanation for just the amount of oddities that we're seeing tonight. That almost never happens. The puck even ending up right there, right as Kanopka's penalty was expiring. The door gets open, and you get a guy hit into the penalty box. This is truly something. 9:45 still to go in the second period as well.
And it's going to be 5-on-4 power play for the Huskies. Smusa Hovenen gets thrown out. Cole Carlson comes to the faceoff. It's a power play for the Huskies right now as Keegan Lucas only got 2 minutes for fighting. A lot's happening right now. Huskies looking to get something going on their own power play. Lampman, one of the better players, looks to bring it in. Swings it all the way to Kanapika. Coming off. Has a lot of stamina because he's been in that penalty box a long time. Against Lex Ballard, is able to get a stick on that. Lucas Robinson trying to clear it. Swings to Hovenen, and he does clear it. A minute left in the Husky power play. 9 minutes and 20 seconds in the second period. 1-0 hockey game. Huskies up.
One team's going to have to take momentum from that long break.
Lampman looking for somebody. Tries to get a pass all the way and nothing, but Eom is able to recover the rebound. Back to Wolf at the point. Wolf shot, trying to get rebounds. Nothing there. Clears over to Eom and Lucas Robinson. Eom maybe looking for something. Goes behind the net of Alexia Cool. Now coming back up is a Husky. Eom still with puck possession. Lucas Robinson right on his hip like a pistol. Jake Ferguson gets the pass. Almost loses it. Jake Ferguson. Back to Wolf. Wanted the slap shot. Couldn't be there. Wolf shot. Alexia Cool is able to get it down. Lampman trying to do his best. Big Tipper impersonation. But couldn't find his stick there. Still some punching and shoving. 31 seconds left on the power play. 8 minutes, 41 seconds left in the second period. And I know there's been a lot of, I guess you could say, fighting now and a lot of penalties. We still have a lot of game to go, and I know it's a close game. I know they're going to keep on hitting each other. There's a lot left in store from both these teams aggressively.
No doubt. And you know what? We've finally seen consistent hockey for more than 30 seconds here. They're finally back to playing as cool again. Snags that one. Quick play off the draw. The Huskies, the one thing the Cougars have to be careful with here, the Huskies are setting up a normal power play, and the Cougars are setting up a normal box formation. However, they're leaving the guy in the slot wide open oftentimes. The Huskies have tic-tac played that, but again, their one opportunity they tried with that, Cameron Britt fanned on it. They didn't get it, but they're leaving it open still. The Huskies could capitalize on that. We'll have to watch for that and see if they do.
Morris was able to get it around the boards. Cameron Irwin, still music playing. Irwin swings it over to Morris. Bouncing puck, not able to get too much of the possession. Morris to Cameron Britt. Behind that, Morris shot. Another one, Cameron Britt. No, he's not able to get it. Cameron Irwin with puck possession. Spins by himself. The power play is over. We have 5-on-5. Here comes Keegan Lucas, a defenseman that can help this team out. Matthew Taylor clears it. It's going to be icing, but we are finally back to 5-on-5, Zach. It felt like 20 minutes.
Finally back to it. This is just insanity. It looks like now Needham and Brenner are also going to come out of the box. The penalty boxes have finally been emptied here in the Iceplex. Still 8:02 to go in the second period. Still just one puck has crossed the line here so far, and that was a period and a half ago.
And it was early on in that period. There was still, I believe, 17 minutes left in the first period. So a lot of weird stuff. Here comes David Bushkin. We might have a 2-on-1. Bushkin and Keegan Lucas. Bushkin shoots. Stopped by Jonah Nash. Getting his glove on it. Bushkin almost had his second goal of the series. Swings out to the point. Cougs shot. Hits a defender. Hits the number 7, Consolo. Here comes the Huskies coming back down. Shot. Tipped wide. Sam Hembry's able to get a stick on it. Nothing there, though. Keegan Lucas swings all the way up. Oh, Matthew Taylor just didn't have his head wrapped around. And it's not, oh no, they called the icing off. They say it was tipped when it was not tipped whatsoever. Smith loses the puck. Oh, when he gets it right back, the lucky break right there is Umale was able almost to get something going. Consolo loses it right to Evan King. Evan King behind the net of Alexia Cool. He gets slammed, but the Cougs with puck possession. Hembry trying to clear it, gets shoved off it. Huskies still battling. No one can keep puck possession for more than 2 seconds right now. Umale able to get it, or Reed Mullen able to try and get it out. Hank Hamlet doesn't get it past the zone. Trying to kick it, and it's finally cleared from the zone. Is number 22, Nico Umale. He's able to try to push it up. Trying to push it up to Evan King. Cleared into the zone. First one that touches me, number 5, Daniel Musgrave. 6 minutes, 45 seconds left. Cougars with puck possession. Colin Keenan doing a good job with theirs. He overstepped his boundary as a defenseman. Try to clear it. Trying to keep it in with Brendan Smith. It's tipped. No icing is going to be called as it was tipped. And it was tipped that time, and they call icing. At this point, whatever we think is going to happen, the opposite happens. The Cougs catch another break as it's heading back down into Husky zone. 6 minutes, 33 seconds left. 1-0 hockey game still. The Huskies known for being a high-scoring team. Coach Lupinacci says all the time, you need to score 5 goals in this league and division to win games. There hasn't been 5 goals this whole entire series yet. 1-0 hockey game, Huskies win the puck battle. They're able to clear it up, like you said. Oh, when it's cleared, no penalty is going to be called because that's not in the cards in this division.
Absolutely, yeah. There is no delay of game. You can freely technically clear it over the glass from your own zone. No consequences with that. But I'll tell you what, if our buddy Smith wanted to interview Coach Johnny Lupinacci one more time, he could probably just say word for word what he said the first time, and it would 100% apply, if not more, be more applicable now to than what it was after the first period. This has been really just a little bit of hint of hockey in this period.
Well, and since there hasn't been a lot of 5-on-5 hockey, shot is tipped in wide right. With such little 5-on-5 hockey, you got to think, does Coach Lupinacci even blame the Cougars for what's happening?
You have to wonder what anyone's thinking at this point.
Here comes the break. By himself, Cole Carlson rips one just wide left. Cole Carlson almost 3 points away. He's still at 4 points away from 100. Maybe could have got something a little bit closer, but Jonah Nash doesn't even touch it. Cole Carlson tries to get hit on the net of Jonah Nash. Huskies getting forechecked by the Cougs. Able to get up to Wolf. Wolf and Lampman have been a two-man show. Wolf tries to get in front of the net, loses it. Cole Carlson now clears it to no man's land. Shot from the point, trying to get a big tipper. Colin Keenan's able to get in front of it. No shot, hits Alexia Cool. Petit. Oh, puck is cleared in it. No netting, and a fan might be getting a souvenir. As there's a race to the puck right now. A bunch of little kids pushing and shoving. That might be the most exciting thing that's happened this period.
Gray sweatshirt came up just short of a souvenir. And I'll tell you what, that kid's going to go home happy. He's going to go home and grab that puck. He's going to sign it and say, this is from the time I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left. Shot on net. Alexia Cool is able to steer it wide. Lampman pushed off by Colin Keenan to Wolf by himself, looking to maybe go back in. Wolf. That's Cameron Irwin. My apologies. He sent it down to Wolf. Irwin again. Irwin maybe trying to get to the point. Irwin still with puck possession. Gets it tipped away. Good job right there. Here comes Max Lazaro. Had a rough start to the last game, a rough game last night. Looking to get back on track.
Quite a few missed opportunities for Max Lazaro last night. Come on, missed passing plays, missed shots. Just in general, missed opportunities. He had quite a few of the Cougars' grade A chances and just couldn't capitalize.
Wolf clears into the zone. Lucas Robinson, the first man to touch. Another pass, maybe to get in front. Can Alexia Cool still? No, it doesn't get to him. Irwin shot, hits a defender. Good job right there. David Bushkin gets in front of it. And now Reed Mullins fighting with 2 Huskies. At the point, shot again. Alexia Cool steers it wide. Christopher Williams, the shot from the point. Logan Maloney, he was in box for fighting. He's now out. Lucas Robinson, he's fighting with Eom. Robinson sends it forward. It's picked off by Maloney. Still puck possession. Huskies. Eom falls. Nothing's going to be called because, of course, not. Reed Mullen trying to get it out, and he does get it out. He's able to get to number 14, Cadence Kelly. Still in the zone. Cadence Kelly, you guys do a good job of just sending it wide of the blue line. But here comes Morris once again. Tipped away. Reed Mullen able to get a stick on it. Huskies pass it out. Eom sends it to the point once again. Number 8, Christopher Williams, all the way to Morris. Bad shot there. Hits number 12 in the face. That is Derek Yang. Tries to get in front of Eom. Eom wide right. Had an opportunity there as he did see the net. The puck just couldn't get to the net in time. Lucas Robinson trying to clear it. Weak clear attempt. Still, Huskies put it on. Williams cleared high and wide. Doesn't touch Alexi Cool. Another weak cleared. Eom keeps it in. Huskies dominating right now. This is almost a minute and a half in a row. Maloney fighting against David Bushkin. Both teams are fired. Morris from the slot. And Alexi Cool does a good job of slowing it down. Both teams are able to get subs. They're both dead tired. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left in the second period. 1-0 hockey game.
Cougars needed that whistle badly. We now see a line change. Guys, we're tired out there, and now you're bringing a good line here. Second line with what we're seeing. Coach Johnny Lupinacci talking to them, patting them on the back as they're hitting the ice. 3:45, like you said, left in this second period. Just a 1-0 game. This is a one-goal game, and really anyone's game, but it just seems like they're passing the win off to each other.
It's getting incredible at this point. Cameron Britt shot, hits a defender, and it's gone left. Back out to Morris at the blue line. Clears it back in to Britt. Britt looks to center out in front. Sam Hembry doing a good job of shoving a Husky off it. Keegan Lucas, his pass to himself just too far to Jake Ferguson. Ferguson looks to find someone in front of the net. Nothing. Still battling Morris. Punch and shoving. Nothing's going to break out this time. Alexi Cool holds it down. 3 minutes, 21 seconds left. 1-0 hockey game still. Yes, you heard that right. It is 1-0.
The Husky captain, again, kind of a little bit of a late swing there on Cool's glove. He has now been in that crease and creating havoc now 3 times. And we all know what happened the last time he was there in the crease. We had about a 20-minute break from the game of just trying to get penalties assessed. But finally, we've gotten some consistent hockey here. But again, no one can take advantage. No one can take full possession. The Huskies have had good offense here, but they just can't put it across the line.
Jake Ferguson wins the faceoff. And let me tell you, Williams and Morris, the 2 defensemen for the Huskies, have been on the ice for about 2 minutes. So long shifts for them. But if you're the Huskies coach, you're keeping them on for a good reason as they're getting shots on net, and they have been dominant in the Cougs zone so far. Looking to push it again is Morris. Gets it up. Stops in his tracks. Brandon Smith doing a good job. Micah Clark doing a good job of that. By himself, trying to push it in is the Coug. Cole Carlson might be first to touch. Has fresh legs. Morris, maybe not so fresh legs. Doing a good job of avoiding Cole Carlson, getting the pass out. All the way out, and it's going to be icing. Or it should be. We don't know. Yes, icing. Micah Clark touches up, and we're heading back down to Husky side. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left exactly in the second period. 1-0 hockey game. Huskies are up.
I think officiating is very hard in any sport, but the guys on the ice right now wearing the stripes have definitely made it seem a little questionable, to say the least. Last night and now tonight, it has been the opposite of what it was last night, but still so far over that it's questionable. And again, they lost control of the game in the middle of the second period. It looks like it's regained now. No penalties since then. But again, still getting a little bit of icing calls wrong here and there. It's just something.
Matthew Taylor on the forecheck, able to get steer clear wide of 2 Huskies. Cole Carlson sends it around the boards. Hopefully David Bushkin can check up with it, and he does. Bushkin tries to send it ice, stolen away. Sloan's able to get a stick on it and steal it away. Cleared once again, and not going to be icing because it's too slow. Lucas Robinson sends around the boards for Colin Keenan. Back up to 14, Cadence Kelly. Kept in the zone by a Husky. Colin Keenan touches it. Keenan back out to Cadence Kelly, looking to clear this time, and he does. Needham skates past the puck. It's not going to be icing. Matthew Taylor versus Needham for a race. Needham wins. Matthew Taylor right behind him, though, on the forecheck once again. Sent back behind the net of Jonah Nash. Cole Carlson on the forecheck. Cole Carlson by himself looking to get maybe something. Max Cesaro still pressing with Cole Carlson. Keeping it in the zone is the Cougars. Samuel Sullivan is able to get a stick and keep it in. Carlson on the forecheck once again behind the net of Jonah Nash. Minute 35 left. Huskies passing it in their own zone. No tripping is called. Samuel Sullivan has puck possession now. He's tripped. Nothing's going to be called. And it trickles out to Jonah Nash. And he's able to cover it up. It looked like a bunch of missed calls going both ways right there, but Jonah Nash covers it up and settles it down. Minute 27 left in the second period. 1-0 hockey game still for the Huskies.
I mean, the Cougars with life. That was fantastic. The forecheck from Carlson, the forecheck from Sahovanen. They were relentless, and they just weren't allowing the Huskies to break it out of their own zone. They were cutting off passing lanes, going toward the blue line. They were just pressuring, hemming them into the boards and the plexiglass. They have to be able to do that for the rest of the period and could maybe get a very huge momentum swinging goal that could tie the game going into the third.
Sam Hembry is able to cut a guy off. Nothing's going to be called. Huskies bench wanted to call. Keegan Lucas sends it up. It's tipped, but it is cleared away from the blue line. Max Cesaro trying to get it. It's going to swing all the way to Jonah Nash on his stick. Sends it around behind the net. Number 22, David Patterson. A minute left to 5 seconds. With momentum is Wolf. Wolf trying to maybe send it in front. Wolf looking to get a wrist shot. And he scores no with goal. No good. Hits the post. And Henry might have a break if he beats him. All by himself. Hank Hamlet, the freshman, going in, and he loses it. Needham cuts his stick down, and they're going to call a penalty. Oh, my goodness. What a change of events that was. Wow.
Off the iron on one end into the other. A near breakaway for Hank Hamlet. Duncan Needham's going to slash the stick out of his hand with 47.6 to go, a power play. And now it looks like there's some kind of signal here for technical maybe. So is this going to be more than 2 minutes?
Well, it looks like Needham was talking to the referee. He was really mad. I don't know maybe if Needham did it on purpose because it looked like Hank Hamlet had a little bit of an angle there. But timeout is called. So it's only being 2 minutes for Duncan Needham, even though he was talking back to the referees. There's 47 seconds left. Good timeout by Coach Lupinacci. Draw something up. The Cougs yet again on the power play, and there still hasn't been a penalty a penalty goal this whole entire game for either teams. These teams have to be really impressed with the penalty kills, honestly, but very disappointed in the power plays at the end of the day also.
And now the Huskies have hit 2 posts, maybe even 3 there. I believe it is 3. And the crowd over here on the left, the purple and gold lovers, were just fired up. They thought that went in, and it did not. That's the second time that's happened. I believe the first time hit double post.
It is getting loud in here. 3 post shots for the Huskies. It's a 4-minute on Duncan Needham, as they did call something on it. And I don't know, but I believe in the division, a 4-minute means it's going to be 4 minutes regardless. They're talking to the Huskies bench right now about it. And with the 4-minute penalty at this point in the game, the Cougars could score 7 times within this 4 minutes, and it's still going to be a power play, still going to be a man advantage.
Absolutely. I mean, Matt Cleaton is irate. He is irate right now. He's no words from us, but a lot of words from him. 47 to go. The puck's going to drop. It is loud in this building.
It is getting really loud. The face-off trickles away, maybe trying to keep it in. Is Sam Hembry? No, we can't get it to go. There's been 3 post shots and a goal called off for the Huskies. The Cougs got to get something going. No icing's called. 33 seconds left in the second period. Carlson with the puck. Looks to send it out. Cole Carlson, we might have a 2-on break, but here they go. Might be 2-on-0, but Sam Hembry by himself. Number 12. Here he goes in, shoots. Slipped away. Cole Carlson almost has an own goal. How are they going to call it? Yeah, they're calling tripping, or it's going to be 4-on-4 for at least another 2 minutes. What is happening in this game? I'm confused. My, oh my. As Sam Hembry's called for tripping. Number 12, Derek Yang was on the break. Just couldn't get it to go. Lexi shuts him down. Cole Carlson almost tips it back into the net. But Sam Hembry goes off. There is going to be 20 seconds, 4-on-4 hockey. And then after this 4-on-4 is cleared off, the Cougs will be back on the power play for 1 minute and 33 seconds. I don't know if there's going to be any more penalties called, but a lot of stuff has happened in the second period. One of the weirdest second periods in hockey you'll ever see.
Well, even if the Cougs kill this penalty, they're going to have 1 minute 30 of power play time that they had before as Carlson's crushed there.
On the boards. Maybe to get something to go. Kanapika sends it in front. Nothing found. All the way by himself. Maybe the last second slap shot. Wide left. And that is going to be the second period. A shot. Cleared away. A very confusing second period. Finds Needham getting a 4-minute penalty. Finds Sam Hembry with a tripping penalty on almost a break. It was... This is getting crazy. There was 1 minute 40 left in the Sam Hembry penalty. So 1 minute 40 left of 4-on-4 hockey. And then the Cougs will go back on the power play for 1 minute and 13 seconds, or 1 minute and 33 seconds. My apologies. It is a 1-0 hockey game, Zach. Very weird second period. Probably not going to have a second period like that in a long time. Lexico is still standing on his head. Jonah Nash stops everything that's coming for him in the second period. Both coaches are probably a little confused. Fans are a little confused. What's your takeaway from that period?
Well, I would add we're a little confused on what's going on here. I think the officials are a little confused. We have seen so many penalties, missed calls. We've seen calls that shouldn't have been made, and we've seen scrums in a net and 15-minute discussion afterwards. This has been one of the games of all time regarding actual hockey play. Not a lot there. Realistically, more garbage hockey, I thought, from then in the first period, like Coach Johnny Luminacci said. But the Cougars have a huge opportunity here. They have an opportunity. Again, a minute and a half left on their power play if they can kill this 4-on-4. And they can finally maybe turn the tide right before that penalty from Duncan Needham. We saw a little life with the forecheck from the Cougars. They were finally battling in the offensive zone, finally not allowing the Huskies to break it out of their own zone, create passing lanes, and they just have to keep doing that in order to finally get one by Zach Reddy. I beg your pardon, Jonah Nash.
Yes, and something that I do want to bring up is Van Rayner not being in this game probably is a huge game because the Cougs have taken a little step up. As yesterday, I want to say 80% of the game was controlled by the Huskies. The other 20%, the Cougs got something going. Now the Cougs are starting to catch up. It's looking a little bit like 60-40. Yes, the Huskies are looking like a better team, but the Cougs aren't that far behind as I would say as they were last night. It's been a very tight game ever since all the penalties are going in. Every team's 100% on the penalty kill right now and 0% on the power play. It is still only 1-0. If you would have told me a 1-0 hockey game in the Battle of the Apple would be as entertaining as this, almost more probably is more entertaining than it was last night, and we're still only 2 periods in, I would have called you crazy. It's been a fun game to call. I'm excited for what we have in store for this close matchup of Battle of the Apple, Battle of the Puck, whatever you want to say, Apple of the Puck. Man, oh man, it's been entertaining. We'll be back. I'm Connor Simmons with Zach McFarland in the booth for an exciting third period. Please stay with us for KUGR Hockey.
Two wild periods, one with hockey, the other not a lot of hockey. We had Smith Sly go down and talk to Coach Johnny Lupinacci there again at the second intermission. Smith, what did Johnny have to say?
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Connor. We are back down on the ice yet again with Coach Lupinacci after the second period of action. I mean, just a very hot temper's boiling over there in that second period. What is going on down there on the ice?
Well, you got to protect your goalie, and they got a successful strategy of crashing the net, and unfortunately, hit our goalie a couple times, and boys got to do what they got to do to protect the net and their tendies. So, things got a little wild there for a minute, and both teams got out of it, and no goals scored, and here we go. We're moving.
Absolutely. And then, of course, I want to go back to that. There was one opportunity that Benjamin Lampman had in their team where it looked as though he scored. They waved it off. What exactly happened on that
Goaltender
play?
interference. And it's plausible it happened in the first goal, too. Like I said, their strategy isn't crashing that hard. They had a guy in the crease both times. They scored earlier and had some chances. We talked to them about it. They said they were going to watch it. And sure enough, on that goal, he was totally already in the crease and totally in the way. So it was a no-brainer. He waved it off.
How exactly are you guys adapting to that crash the goal strategy from UW?
So repeat that question again.
No, how exactly are you adapting to that crash the goal strategy from UW?
Protect your net. I mean, just you got to be tough in your own crease. You got to move guys out and protect your goalie, and keep grinding, get pucks out of the zone. Don't let them set up like that. Don't let them crash the net.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach. Connor and Zach, back to you in the booth.
Awesome.
When we talk about who's controlled the game more, here they come, and I'm not talking about the Cougars, and I'm not talking about the Huskies. The referees have hit the ice here as we look to get underway in this third period. 1:38 till the puck will drop. But again, this is a one-goal game. We've seen one goal this whole game. It was from the Huskies, 3 minutes in, coming from Cameron Smith on just a weird play out front on kind of a breakaway, But what exactly happened in that second period that could we even describe?
Honestly, Coach Lupinacci, said it 7 times in the interview, crashed the net. It happened a lot. Protect the goalie. He said quite a bit, too. And he's right. They have their game plan. They're getting in front of Alexi Cool, trying to get him maybe in Alexi Cool's head. I don't know the true game plan, or just like he brought up on that very first goal, goal interference could have been called, like the Lampman one was called off. They could have called one out for the first time because it looked like, if I remember it correctly, Logan Maloney was the one who slid in the net first before even the puck. So very weird situations, very weird one-goal game. With that in mind, the refs have controlled this game, but they've also lost the game. It was, I want to say, a 50-minute second period. The third period is going to be exciting for sure. Jonah Nash and Alexi Cole, it has been a goalie game for sure. It hasn't been a defensive game. It's been a goalie game. And both coaches are looking to get something started. The Cougs are looking to get at least one goal, tie this game up. It has to happen in this period now. They haven't had a goal in the first or second period of both games. Let's see if they can get another one in this third period. I'm very excited. There's still 1:40 left on the penalty of Sam Henry for tripping. And then Duncan Needham, 65, gets 3 minutes and 13 seconds left on his. So it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for 1:40, and then the Cougs will go back on the power play for 1 minute and 33 seconds left. Sorry if that's confusing, but this game has been confusing.
That was a lot to discuss, and it's a lot to break down. When we look at what the referees have done, control is not necessarily the right word for what they've done. They've affected the game by losing control. They let the game get out of hand there midway through the second. And now you have, again, 2 penalties serving. We haven't seen a lot of even strength since the first period. 3:13 left on the Duncan Needham slash, as well as the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty he received on top of that. But then obviously, of course, Sam Henry serving a minor for tripping, kind of protecting that shorthanded breakaway from Yang. This is just truly incredible. 20 minutes are back on the clock. We go to the final frame of regulation as the puck gets ready to be dropped right at the center of the Kraken logo here at the Iceplex. I'm Zach McFarland, again with Connor Smith. We're back with KUGR, and the third period is underway. Cougars and Dogs with the Huskies leading 1-0. Mullen through center, nothing there, and possession to be taken by Wolf. Wolf moving ahead with his counterpart Lampman. Angled it back to the point. There's just a quick spinning shot toward the goal, and Cool corrals that with his stick, and it goes stick to glove, and he covers 19 seconds in.
That's the correct answer, Alexi. Cool. Slow this game down. It's been a crazy one, especially in the third period. Slow the game down. Let it come to you. Going back to the Duncan Needham penalty, that might be the best play of the game so far, as it might have saved a goal. And yes, the best play of the game might be a 4-minute penalty. So crazy game, Hup, coming up now.
Wouldn't shock me with a game like this. Here's Cole Carlson moving in. Nice move, but just tipped away there. That's a great stick play from Drew Heiser, the first time he has been on the ice tonight. Here comes Wolf through center. Going right. Long reach there. Batted it back now. Onside play, but again, Cole Carlson working. Lampman will back check with him. Lampman looked like he wanted a call there. Doesn't get one, and the pass goes to Wolf and past his stick for now Reed Mullen. Chased by Wolf. Reed Mullen gives it up there. Lampman through the right circle and a shot up high and stopped by Cool. An early whistle. That puck was still loose, but it was rattling around near the cage of Cool. And at 55 seconds, he will stop play as he melts it down.
46 seconds left on the Sam Hembry penalty. 2 minutes, 18 seconds left on the Duncan Needham penalty. 4-4 hockey still going. So far, the Cougs haven't got in the zone, but Cole Carlson almost had 2 breaks. So pretty even so far to start this first period in the first minute.
The 8U game you guys saw in the intermission, the raffle for that will get announced soon enough. As here's a shot, that one tipped wide off a body in front. As this one will clear the zone, it comes down. Williams to grab it off here in behind the net. Taylor there was pursuing as the puck comes loose all the way to the neutral zone. Ballard. Micah Clark fires this one in for the pass from Ballard. Nash settles it down and lets it sit in behind the cage. Ferguson now to grab it off at the half wall. Now the captain. Norris coming in, going right to left. Stops there at the left circle. Gets it back to the point. Williams coming right to the zone and a shot. May have been tipped. Scramble there. Puck is loose. And it's in. The net is off its moorings. The crowd is cheering. The puck is in. It's Irwin. And it's 2-0 Huskies.
They're going to count it as a power play goal as there's 3 seconds left in the Sam Hembry one. But the Cougs now have 1:35 seconds on the power play. It's a 2-0 hockey game. First goal in a long time. Cameron Irwin, who's had his fair share of the time in the Huskies penalty box. I believe he's had 6 minutes tonight. Frustration was building. He gets a goal to go. And it looked to be Alexi Cool was trying to cover it up and just, like Coach Lapanachi said, crash in the net. Stick, tipped away. And it is a 2-0 hockey game, which might be killer for the Washington State Cougars.
Do you think that goal just really puts a dagger in the Cougars' chances here in this third period?
Anything's possible. There's still a lot in this game, but that does kill a lot of momentum if they had any.
And 3 seconds, all that's left on the Hembry penalty. He will step out of the box as we speak. And 1:30 of a power play time. And if there's a goal ever been needed on the power play, it's now for the Cougars. But Andres just going to clear this out. And again, same old story. Cougars not able to get anything going. But again, they have a chance here. 1:17 to go. Robinson in behind his own net's going to break it out as he stops and starts away from Andres. Drifts over, but his pass to Evan King is to nobody, and it comes all the way down and has to be swept in behind the net by Cool.
The Cougs just look to not be on the same page right now, as their passes are just, they're not going to other Cougs, and it's just not looking too great.
Sahovanen now through center, loses the puck, and it's swatted back, and a slow gliding puck comes all the way down in behind the goal line. 47 seconds left on the Needham penalty.
The Cougars need something, at least a little bit of momentum. Even if you don't get a goal on this power play, getting shots on net will help, and we'll go an extra mile.
Here comes Hembry through the right circle. He'll go around the cage with it, backhanding one over the stick of Morris to Carlson. Looked to be stripped off the puck there and can't. Now he is just hemmed into the board, and it will come all the way down off a swipe play, and the puck again sent in below the Cougar goal line. 20 ticks left on the Needham penalty.
Look to finally beat that the Cougs are setting up in the zone, and the Huskies just blow them right back out of it.
They just don't seem to be on the same page at anything. Here's kicking into the zone there was Bushkin, and a cover here from Nash. When we look at this Cougars team, they've really made no adjustments as far as passing goes. From first period to now, they just seem to be all on different pages, maybe even on different chapters.
Well, I want to blame it on the confusion that happened in that second period, and there still was a pretty confusing first period, a lot of penalties and stuff like that. I want to blame it on that, but it's also, you have to say what the obvious is the Huskies are the better team.
Right now, they absolutely are. Keegan Lucas lets one go. That shot is blocked down. Cadence Kelly tried to swipe one with a spinning shot, and that one's fresh out of the box. Here comes Needham. He has Irwin maybe. Sent one across. Oh, and he sent it wide. My goodness. Bushkin able to clear the zone momentarily, before it is White back in, and Irwin is there again.
It was a 2-on-1 break, almost 2-on-0. The goal was there to be found, but Irwin just skies it. He had the second goal. He was looking to have an amazing third period, but nothing there.
Loose puck there, missed on by Taylor. The puck will move through the neutral zone. There is Wolf. First line out there for the Huskies. Lampman spinning and tracing the circle and sends it back down low with the backhand. And again, lots of hockey play here. Here's a pass out in front. Lampman scores! Lampman has made it 3-0 on a pass out in front. And the Huskies in full control with 16 minutes to go here in period 3.
Lampman lights the lamp. He already had a goal called off this game. He's leading the division or second behind Andrew Fan in points in the division. And at this point, 16 minutes left in the third period. It's 3-0. This is what we kind of expected the Cougs, or not the Cougs, the Huskies to do in this series. They're trying to run away with it. And like our good pal Luke Combs says, when it rains, it pours.
Absolutely. That song has played here in this building tonight, and it's true right now. You could even see the difference in body language here on the benches. Smiles from the Huskies and from the Crimson and White. Glooming faces, just kind of stunned, and they just don't seem to be on the same page as Keenan now, looking to try and get out of his own zone, but he is heavily pressured by Sloan. Taken by Ferguson. Sloan sends one down below the goal line again for Ferguson. Spinning one back for Britt, but he keeps it. This one now again, Britt. Looks at his options, has a man at the circle. That's Ferguson, threw one on net. Looking for deflection by Sloan, couldn't get it. Britt now from the corner. That one poked away by Ballard, looking for a breakout, and the puck will bounce across the blue line and leave the zone. But again, Ballard can't keep control, and now maybe a 3-on-1. Konopka, he has a man trailing. There is Sloan. They score! My goodness. It is 4-0 Huskies, and that's 2 goals in 54 seconds.
And momentum has jumped sides, and it is riding heavy with the Huskies right now. That's 3 goals in about 2 minutes. And what was a 1-0 close hockey game now leads to 4-0, and now the crowd is involved. The Huskies are going to be thriving off that. My, oh my, how this game has flipped on its head.
The Huskies have cracked this game wide open, scoring 3 early on after a 1-0 game this entire time from 3 minutes in on. And now 3 early goals as we're getting a little bit behind the play there. Sahovanen and Konopka jawing at each other. And I can see this game getting out of hand a second time tonight.
That is something we don't want. We do understand it's a 4-0 game, but now it's looking like the Huskies are going to be a little bit of sore winners, which is on brand with the Huskies brand. So
Cole Carlson now just chasing after it, but the Cougars look defeated as is already.
Yeah.
With their play right now, their body language is different. You have smiles from Coach Matt Cleaton. He's joking with his players. And on the other side of things, just frustration as here's an opportunity for the Huskies. Throwing one toward the net. Save in the rebound. They score again. And a mockery was made by Consuelo, but only to fall and be tripped by his own player. So all aura lost right there on the celebration.
Consolo tried to be a little cocky right there and wave goodbye, but he actually slips, and crowd's getting involved. It's 5-0. Huskies are being sore winners. They're talking right now. This game, I think it might get out of hand really soon, Zach. I'm not talking with the score. That's already out of hand, but this game's going to get really chippy real soon.
Not even the use of the force could have saved Consola from that embarrassment after mocking the crowd and then tripping over his own player. Not a celebration he was hoping for. And man, the Cougars have just completely collapsed here in the first 7 minutes of this period. Not even 7 minutes, 6:07. And man, this has just been a complete turn of events. 5-0 Cougars after this period started 1-0.
Well, the Huskies are almost averaging a goal per minute in this third period. They're confident right now. They're riding the crowd. They're a little bit of sore winners, obviously, but that's going to come and go with a big rivalry like this when it's Washington versus Washington State. But something you got to look forward to is just, it's going to be an aggressive game, yeah.
Bushkin sent hard down to the ice. He's being held down by Morris.
No penalties called. Gross. Just
Not
gross.
going to get a penalty there. That's a very interesting, very on brand with the officiating that has been happening with this game. And now just more physical altercations going on. Ballard and Yang looking like they're getting out in it, been behind the play. Not a lot of hockey still being played even now. And again, an icing that probably should have been called wasn't. Cool is confused. As now the Cougars maybe look to break it out here. Umale stops and starts, and he fires one. And that one, I believe, hit the iron. As a puck comes out of the zone, Maloney spun it ahead. Eom all alone. Backhanders held by Cool as Eom sent to the board and a slash. And now a pushing and shoving. And now a shoulder check. And Umale protecting his teammate there with 12:50 to go here in the third period. And was what once was a close game is now a 5-goal game.
Well, now it's kind of funny. The refs who want to call everything and control this game don't want to call anything anymore. Probably got a call from the boss up top and said, hey, no more penalties this game, as there was a long second period. The Huskies are becoming a little bit of sore winners, and there's going to be a fight that's going to break out. There is a lot of missed calls. The David Bushkin got called to the ground, shoved to the ground. A little bit big brother, little brother interaction there.
Lampman sent it to Irwin. That puck is chipped to the corner. Back to Irwin. He fired one toward the net. To no avail does that puck go in. This is sent to Carlson. It goes over his stick, and it will go all the way down, and it will be an icing, and it's just one after another. They cannot break the puck out through the neutral zone. They can't string passes together. 12:33 to go. If I were Coach John Lupinacci here, I think the next practice, passing to one another and gaining chemistry. It just seems, for the most part of this game, it looks like they just haven't played together.
They're just not on the same page. We've been saying this all game, and now it's like frustration starting to build. So at this point, we're probably not going to see the Cougars play Cougar hockey, which it hasn't been this whole series, it looks like. But still, with that in mind, maybe try and get something to go. And they're jawing each other right now. The refs just aren't doing anything, it looks like. Awesome.
I guess their answer for the second period is not to call nothing, as this game could get more out of hand. I think at this point, though, with it being 5-0, if we see something super crucial, we could definitely see some ejections, guys getting sent to the showers early on.
No doubt.
12:22 to go here in the third period. Like I said, what once was a close game has now been extremely opened up here by the Huskies as they look to close out a sweep here on home ice against the Cougars to keep that streak going. The next series for these guys will be in January. Irwin sends one across, and the bouncing puck off the stick of Wolfen. We're going to get a penalty now. It's going to be against Sam Embry.
Oh, my goodness.
And he has a grin on his face of just disbelief and shock, as I think all you can do is laugh. And Ung, the official wearing the orange stripe, who's going to give him one, is going to give him an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And it's just, I'm speechless.
We do understand. We completely understand Huskies have a dominant hockey team. They have been the better team this weekend. But the refs have completely ruined this hockey game. It was a close game. Probably is not a close game anymore. It's 5-0 and looks to be put to rest pretty soon, maybe on this power play. But someone's going to get hurt with the way they're calling this.
Absolutely. And save made there by Cool, and the scrambling puck near the side of the cage, worked out by Britt. Refs yelling to one another there on the ice. Williams cycling the puck here, the Huskies. Morris back to Williams. Kicks it to his stick. Looks at his options. Right back to Morris at the right circle. Back to the point. Firing one. There was Morris, and it goes wide. Cross ice from Irwin to Morris. Striding on in toward the net. Sent one across, and that is a goal. A water bottle roof shot from Irwin. And a power play goal, the first of the night, despite all the penalties we've seen. And it's 6-0 Huskies.
What a snipe right there it was. But then something you got to point out is Cameron Britt goes and rubs it in one of the defensemen of the Cougars' faces, and no call. I completely understand that there was a lot of calls in the second period, but you're going to call Sam Embry for moving a stick or interference, I guess, and then not going to call it the other way after a goal. It's 6-0. This game's out of hand on the scoreboard, and it's getting really aggressive. The players are talking. The Cougs aren't going to take that.
You have to take control of this game. They lost it early on in the second period, and now
the refs are on the same track. They're not on the same track even themselves. They're supposed to be teammates. They're not on the same track. It's really frustrating from a fan point of view if you're cheering for the Huskies. or cheering for the Cougars. My apologies.
Either or, this game has been out of hand for now a period and a half, and it just continues. The officials look like how the Cougars have been this game, just not on the same page. As now here's one thrown toward the goal, and now a little of a collision in front. This could spark something. Hopefully it doesn't, as now coming out toward the circle to get out of harm's way was Jonah Nash as he throws the puck with 11:06 to go in the final frame of regulation and what will most likely be the final frame of the game.
And it looked like he was trying to be funny there, gives the fans something to laugh about. But the Huskies are just hitting on all cylinders right now in this third period. 6-0 hockey game, 11 minutes, 6 seconds. Jonah Nash is able to get a save.
Frustration mounting for the Cougars. 1-0 at the start of this period has quickly turned to 6-0. And 4 years of the Huskies going in the loss column for them will continue at least until January, unless, of course, the Cougars can somehow make an insane comeback as Consolo comes down below the goal line. He beats out the icing. The loose puck comes to the side of the cage. Here's a shot. Cool blocker that one away. The loose puck to be taken here by Smith. He had the first goal of the night. That's what separated us, and the only goal that separated us for quite some time in this game. As how now here's Cadence Kelly, who just flicks this in and goes for a change.
We're halfway done with the third period. It's starting to be a thing where the Huskies are still trying to score, still trying to rub it in. It's probably going to get out of hand pretty soon, as I would assume.
It absolutely could, even more than it did in the second period. We could see the exact same thing happen again, but in the third, as this puck cannot be cleared. Konopka, good keep in at the line. Smith turning now with it. He is shoved down to the boards pretty hard there. They're going to let it play. Evan King can't win it out. Neither could Lucas. Konopka and Hank Hamlet not done with their altercation as a flick shot toward the goal. That one is held off at the side of the net by Cool, and the whistle had gone. Not a lot of whistles for penalties per se this period.
Yeah.
Maybe not as many as they should. But with 9:52 to go, we get a face-off to the left of Alexi Cool.
The refs are probably looking to get out of here fast, or at least call a little bit less penalties, but they're letting a lot of penalties go. And like you brought up, 4-year drought where the Cougars haven't won a hockey game. All of Ian Gold's career, who's one of the better hockey players to ever come through WSU, it's going to have to wait. And something that I think is going to build up is the animosity and aggressiveness throughout this year. This is going to be a very aggressive series.
There's a shot by Eom. That one banked in behind Cool there for a moment. And it's finally sent to Carlson. Cannot clear it, though. And Keegan Lucas now at the half wall with a little bit of time. Gives it up almost off the skate there of Maloney before it's banked back in. 9:25 and ticking here. Hembry at his own left circle. Angles one ahead off the glass. Carlson now racing after it. No options, and then he dodges a hit, but he went down hard anyway. Needham was there, and the train was coming in. It's Sahovinen crushed on a reverse hit play, and the puck comes out the center. Hembry corralling it, and the Cougs trying to regroup and get something going, but it's just forceful passes to nobody as it looks like Yang doesn't realize this is a delayed offside. To the Cougars now, we'll break it out. Reed Mullen gives it up there. Eom through center, grabs it off. Onside play through the right wing. Taylor kind of shrugged him off. Puck goes to the opposite corner around the cage. Lazaro is trying to break it out, cannot. Here's a shot from the point. Save made, and the rebound is held by Cool with 8:37 to go. Almost picking up the loose trash was Logan Maloney.
Well, the Cougars are down on themselves right now, which is most likely going to happen in the 6-0 hockey game, which was a 1-0 game to start this third period. Yeah, 5 goals in 12 minutes, or 11 minutes and 30 seconds, as I should say. But the Huskies are dominating this whole entire third period. I want to say 10 minutes on attack.
Here's a shot off the point there, and another try. Rebound cleared out of harm's way, now out of the zone. Musgrave hit down to the ice. Bushkin now pushed into the boards and have a little bit of a wrestling match here. Musgrave and Taylor as the puck is pushed back into the Cougar zone. Irwin now battling with Robinson. Sent one out in front. There was Wolf, and he backhanded one toward the corner. It comes back. A rolling puck taken by Irwin. Spun one toward the net, deflected, and then caught on a rebound try by Cool with 8:09 to go. And the mind of the Cougars right now, and both the Huskies, doesn't even necessarily seem to be on hockey. Just trying to take each other's heads off at the moment. And I don't know if Coach Johnny Lupinacci has said a word on that bench. Just a stern face and just disbelief from what has happened in this third period. Here is Lampman. Sent it down low, circling there. Oh, and what a save made by Cool on Irwin point blank. To the back it goes for Mossgrave, and he can't keep it in the zone.
A lot of dirty plays going to be not on the puck, but outside the puck where the refs aren't looking. So that's where I think a lot of the penalties are getting missed, or like they're adding a little extra on some of these hits.
Here's Umale trying to make something happen. Gives it over to King, and a shot save made in the rebound. Spun out of harm's way, and back come the Dogs. Maybe an opportunity for them. Wolf with Sloan trailing. Wolf a shot, and that one right into the trapper of number 30 of Washington State. 7:26 to go in the third now. Still a 6-0 game, and you got to wonder if the Cougars have any chance to put even one across the goal line for Jonah Nash. He has had not too many calls, but he's answered all of them.
Well, you don't want to say the magic words just yet, but if you're the Cougs, you're pushing just at least to get one goal, have a situation where in your mind where it's like, hey, last goal wins. That's what I'm thinking right now, maybe to pump myself up a little bit more. The Huskies, it's been a very aggressive game. They're being a little bit of the sore winners, trying to egg on the Cougs. You got to keep a cool-headed and just get to the end of this game.
A close game last night, 2-1 finish. It was not necessarily close with the play, but the scoreboard showed it was close. 2-1 the final, and now here it was 1-0 the whole game. Fairly even, could have gone either way, but has now broken wide open 6-0. And the second game has proven to just be the one that has worn out the Cougars, as this one is baseball batted all the way down. No icing, though. It will not be enough. Keegan Lucas to grab this one off. Going in behind the cage. He is crushed there by Britt. Looked like he was going straight for that hit the full way. Carlson trying to maneuver around Heiser as the puck is angled ahead to the Huskies zone, but again, right back out to the neutral zone again.
That hit on Keegan Lucas looked to be a little high still. Ref's probably getting out of this game, probably a little nervous about what's going to happen after.
Britt now looking for a wraparound. He is taken down. A couple of bodies go right down to the white sheet of ice. But the arms of the officials also stay down. Carlson at the half wall just kind of clears it out. Carlson is run into there. No penalty against Britt either. Ref's going to clear that as incidental contact. And now Konopka spinning it down low. Consolo trying to just twirl one like a ballerina play, trying to get that one to Britt, could not. And now there's just bodies down. It looks like Sahovinen is down. And Brenner going now one-on-one with someone. And this game is, again, getting to somewhere that it probably shouldn't.
It's Louis Sahovinen slow to get up. He might have got hit there. Are they calling the penalties? They are calling some. It looks like they're calling 2 Huskies out, I want to say, or are they evening it out? We might have some 4-on-4 once again. 6 minutes 11 seconds left in the third period, and we're gonna have 4-on-4 hockey once again. 6-0 hockey game. Huskies took charge of this third period, and they're looking to take home this game.
Konopka go to the box for the Huskies, and to the box for the Cougs. It's Ryan Brenner. And this game has just really, the third period has been all Huskies. And now the official signaling something. Again, not really sure what is going on here.
I believe it's supposed to be 4-on-4, so the Huskies need a guy off. Yes. And Coach Lupinacci just snapped his clipboard. So upset. Should have been a delay of game.
Interesting. And this is turned into something, the stripes. And now we get another whistle on the face-off. And you have palms in the air from both the officials and both the Cougars just trying to figure out what is going on here. And I would be interested to see what Coach Johnny Lupinacci has to say about the officiating in this game. Oftentimes, as a coach or a player, you try not to blame the officiating. Obviously, you try to put yourself in a position to win the game without it relying on the anticipation of a call from the official. But it has been unbelievable what they have been calling, been not calling. They have had quite an effect on this game. As Patterson now with it at the neutral zone over to Duncan Needham, unable to kind of do anything with it there. Brandon Smith looking to try for something. Puck is pushed back across the blue line. Patterson now one-hand shoved by Taylor. Closed off by him. 4-man scrum breaking out to the left. And the Huskies will try and just connect back ahead. Andres. That missed his stick. That one slapped right into the linesman's feet with 5:33 to go. And 1:20 to go now on the power play. Cross ice will go off the boards here for Robinson. He skied that one across the ice, stayed in the neutral zone, and it's banked ahead, and Consolo with an opportunity here. He'll cut right in a shot that never really got off his stick too much, and it slides right under the glove of Alexi Cool with 5:17 left on the clock and 1:07 left on the coincidental roughing liners.
Well, the Huskies are still pushing and proving why they're the better team so far in this series and so far in this weekend, and honestly so far this year. But we talked about how it's hard as a player or a coach to not blame it on the referees. But in this game, it's really disappointing is that's how this game did go.
Here's a shot fanned on there, and a missed opportunity for the Huskies from Daniel Mosgrave. Morris hit into the boards there, I beg your pardon. That was Williams. This is back to the point. Mosgrave at top of the circle sends it over to Eom. Lots of crashing the net in front now. Very close screening. They're kind of almost in the paint. Arm is going to go up with the official, and we're going to get a call. And, of course, it's both of them that are going to go. So now it's seemingly anyone involved within the play is going to get one. Hank Hamlet disagrees. All he can do is shake his head. And I really honestly don't think we have seen much from Coach Johnny Libonacci other than the snapping of his clipboard.
Yeah, there's not a lot of words. The refs want to say right now, hey, no more BS. If you're involved in anything, you're gone. But I really do want to say that the coaches are thinking the same thing from the refs. They want any more BS from the referees, and I highly do doubt that these refs will be coming back for a high-stakes game like an Apple Puck series once again.
The officials here have been one of some of the refs to ref ever.
And I do want to say it hasn't been biased refereeing, just really bad.
Not good on both sides, to say the least. They have just been affecting this game in some way. They elongated the second period, 15 minutes there of a stoppage, trying to mainly discuss what was going on. And so now with 4:44 to go here in the third, face off to the right of Alexi Cool, and the puck will leave the zone off the face-off win for the Huskies. Backhanded back in, and Keegan Lucas over to Hembry. The only defenseman on the Cougs wearing a letter on his shoulder. One of the veterans on the back end for the Cougs. This one chipped into the neutral zone. Lucas, he is sent down into the boards, has to corral himself before getting there. And now changing is Morris of the direction, sending Bushkin down to the ice. Morris now with speed goes coast to coast, top of the circle, trying to shield the puck around in front, tried to jam it home. Net it's off his moorings there, as once again getting very close to Alexi Cool, the captain. Morris for the Huskies, 4:09 to go. And you just got to wonder, what does the game plan look like for Washington State here? If you're Coach Johnny Libonacci, what are you saying down 6-0? What is the goal at this point for the Cougs?
I do want to say it's probably not very optimistic whatsoever. It's probably a situation where it's just like, get to the end of the game, try not to embarrass yourselves a little bit more out here. Obviously, 6-0 is not the best game to be in, but you don't want to be in a 7-0 game either. You know, obviously keep pushing, keep playing, trying to get that goal. Like we said, last score wins, trying to have a fun game with yourself, but it's hard to keep a cool-headed in a game like this.
I think also looking forward into the future as far as not getting ejected, not taking yourself out of a game, is here's an opportunity for the Cougs. Cole Carlson has Taylor. Carlson shooting, and that one goes high off the glass. And another try hurrying one there was, I believe, Cadence Kelly, who just couldn't get a shot off. And this puck will go all the way down. Mullen going to try and get it out of harm's way. Couldn't get it to leave the zone. Irwin now walks on in right, sends it across. They score! The Huskies again. Oh, man, and Irwin took a shot, and here we go. This is ugly again.
Yeah, punches are being thrown right now. Obviously, penalties are being assessed, but that doesn't matter with the referees, apparently. Shoved the goal scorer off, Cameron Irwin, with an assist, and they charge immediately like they're protecting the goalie, it looked like, and punches were thrown right there.
And again, it's just what I was talking about with trying to just escape this game without being ejected and possibly not being able to play in the next one.
Yeah.
As you see the frustration from Matthew Taylor throwing his helmet in the penalty box. Duncan Needham will go back to the box for the Huskies. And now you have a 7-0 game, 3:34 to go. And just an unnecessary shot there from Irwin after the play, after he had just assisted on the 7th goal of the game.
Well, it looked to be Matthew Taylor shoved the goal scorer I do not know the exact name. Do you know the exact goal scorer it was?
I'm unsure who it was.
Yeah, because there was a lot of scrum, and I know he got slammed by Matthew Taylor at the very end there. So, and then immediately Huskies charged against Matthew Taylor and tried to throw punches on him, and obviously Cougs came in, and it was Duncan Needham who was the biggest responder of the Huskies right there, threw the majority of the punches on Matthew Taylor, and he's making gestures towards Matthew Taylor in the penalty boxes right now. With 3 minutes, 34 seconds left, it is 7-0. Some of the boys are talking to Alexi Cool, just like, you got to get out of this game. It's felt like a long third period, but this is the shortest period we've had so far, Zach.
And Alexi, although on the stat sheet, this is going to punish his save percentage.
Yeah.
It's going to punish his goals against average, but he cannot look at it that way. He has honestly been the one turning point for the Cougs that they have had. He has stood on his head, but he has been left out to dry many times this game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Alexia Cool has been, if we were giving out 3 stars for each game, Alexia Cool would be first star for the Cougs both nights. This third period is hard to tell, and I know stats don't mean everything, but if you're at this level of hockey, you do want good stats, and it sucks that Alexia Cool's averages are going down after a game like this.
And obviously, like Lupinacci said, big hit there. Clark on Smith there, the initial goal scorer of this game. And now Umale getting into it, and the arms of the officials are going to stay down.
After a clear penalty against the Cougs, by the way.
This is getting interesting again, of course. And so now you have a puck will clear the zone. But once again, the Cougs, they just have to stay away from the penalties that are going to cost them future games. You have to get out of this. And for Alexi Cool, you just have to kind of erase this game from your mind. But not that only, but like Johnny Lubinacci has said multiple times, 5 goals in this league at least is going to win you games. It's going to keep you in games. And yes, the Huskies have 7. They have done that. The Cougars, 0.
Yeah.
Here's Andres back in, tries to make a move on by, but sent the puck a little too far for his own stick. Konopka trying to get it up the wall, left it off for Andres. Spins away from Lazaro. Tries to backhand one through. Could not thread the needle there. And Lazaro now with a little reversing on Konopka. Referee signaling them for something. Lazaro, a nice little move here. And a reverse hit. He looked like he was going out of his way for that one. Smith sent down to the ice pretty hard as this one shot heavily right from the neutral zone. 2:09 to go and ticking. And if you're Alexi Cool, if you're anyone on the Cougs, this clock can't hit 0 fast enough.
Well, I do want to say Coach Lupinacci said very few words, but I want to say after that goal or the fight after that goal, he told them to start hitting, and they've been hitting the Huskies right now. At least the Huskies are probably going to win this game, but, you know, it's like one of those situations. If you're going to foul them good.
And here we go again. More extracurricular activity going on right now. Wrestling match here, and this has really been almost like a World Wrestling Entertainment pay-per-view with a little bit of hockey added into it. This has been something. 1:47 to go now. Again, still 7-0 score, but now it's more stoppage, and it's going to cause more discussion.
Well, even when the fights are happening, it's becoming a situation where the players are taking themselves out of the situation, taking themselves out of the fight, because the refs can't even take them off each other. They physically lost control of this game early on in the second period, and it showed all the way through. Yes, the Huskies took it away with a 7-0 and have been the better team today, but, man, it's been frustrating for both teams.
More coincidental minors. Ferguson's going to go to the box. Hembry and him chirping at each other. And it looks like Duncan Needham kind of signaling there. He is signaling something to Hembry.
6-7, some might say. 6-7. A minute 47 left. Hembry and Jake Ferguson are out for the rest of the game with a 2-minute penalty, 2-minute penalties. Huskies still pushing it, trying to rub it in. Cougs probably just trying to get some more hits off or get out of this game.
Rivalry has been a great way to describe this game as a shot blocked away off the shot from Cameron Britt, and it will go all the way down. The sputtering puck will cause an icing with 91 ticks left. And you just have to wonder what the post-game locker room might look like for the Cougars. And, I mean, realistically, practices going forward. You have next weekend off, obviously. Halloween, There is no games for the Cougars. But going into now the showcase is what's next. The showcase where you face teams that are traveling up. That'll be at Cheney. 4 games, 4 days in a row. You'll have a game. And so you'll get a week break, yes, but what has to change for the Cougars is they're on a 4-game losing streak here.
Well, if you're the Cougars, it's simple. I completely understand how it's not easy to do, but their offense has to get going some point in the season. They did look good early on, and there's still some more hitting and pushing and shoving right here at the back end.
They're full on swinging here. Is still no whistle. They're breaking it up mid-play without blowing the whistle. Bushkin now turning it over the line. He is hit off the puck there by Maloney. Eom will take control for the Huskies. He gallops ahead. Eom shielding the puck off. He is taken down, though, by Taylor along the board. And my goodness, and now the puck finally into the glove of Cool. And I don't know how long it's been since we've had a stoppage of play without some form of altercation. I really don't know how long it's been since then.
I couldn't tell you honestly, Zach, but it's very sad how this game has gone. Obviously, for the Cougars' perspective, but even like it was a 1-score game, very close. It's 7-0, but now it's like they're just rubbing it in. And you brought up post-game, obviously, what's leading up to the next couple game practice and stuff like that. How is the post-game going to go in the handshake line? It looks to be bad blood. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do it or if scuffles break out, because words are not getting uncensored, I guess you could say, on the ice. I'm not a lip reader, but it has not been kind.
It has not been, and we've kind of gotten some hot mic moments here being near the penalty boxes, some colorful words being thrown out, some infamous internet gestures as now here's Lampman spinning in the circle. 12 seconds, all that's left. A shot directed just wide. Wyatt Perry now clearing that, and he sticks someone high in the face. 5 seconds to go now. Puck again just in the corner, and it will leave that way, but will this game end without altercation? It will not, of course. How could it? Zeros are on the clock, but the action continuing in the corner. And it looks like the officials are just signaling for both teams to kind of go to their respective sides of the ice.
Jonah Nash did get his he got a shutout, and they're all freaking out right now as the Huskies just think they won the world championship.
If you're Alexi Cool, you just have to erase the game from your memory. This is not against you in any way, but it's just something of frustration with the lack of offense the Cougars showed and then just how this game ended. Referees really putting their hands in the pot here with how much they kind of controlled this game as far as how they affected it. Of course, not a lot of control actually, but now a handshake line. And you hope to see that this stays civil, as this is a very class act thing that hockey brings to the table for a game that has not shown a lot of class act really in any way.
No doubt about it. It looks to be fine, I want to say. Because this is the one part of the game where it's like you cannot, that's just an unwritten rule. Regardless if you, hate's a strong word, but dislike the other team, if you didn't have a great game, regardless if you got your butt handed to you, you cannot do that. And even the Cougs doing a good job of shaking the referee's hands, regardless of, I know for a fact, actually, not regardless, that they did not agree with him. So
it is interesting. It truly is with the handshake line. You know, you see it at the end of playoff series. And it's truly something that's awesome, you know, after a hard-fought 7 games, after a hard-fought 5-6, maybe even a sweep, guys will put everything aside that has happened. They will shake the hand of their opponent, who they had just hard-fought with. And a 2-game series here at the Kraken Iceplex in Northgate comes to an end. Washington comes away with a sweep. And a close game in the first night, and what was close here at the start of this last period, ends in a blowout. And now you have some conversation with the officials from the Huskies, the coaches of the Huskies, and just full on anger and sticks being thrown here. And you just hate to see what an ugly ending and game this has become after what started so awesome and was a great rivalry. But again, it's something that just got out of control way too early on.
Well, it's hard to have any Coach Lipinacci's pissed. Obviously, sorry for the words I want to say, but like he's throwing sticks on the ice. It wasn't until that third period, but it was an embarrassing output by the Cougars. They got hit hard. They lost the series. The crowd was able to get involved. It was a matter of like 5 goals in 4 minutes. Like we said, when it rains, it pours, but it was just a horrible matchup for the Cougs, as the Huskies were the better team this weekend. Simple as that, straight up as that. They were the better team, but it does suck that extracurricular things came out of it, if that kind of makes sense, where it's like, because the Huskies, they weren't the better team 24/7, if that kind of makes sense. The Cougs held with them for a good amount of this game. It was 1-0 until the third period. I remember we were talking in between the half off the air. Overtime is in the works, but obviously things don't go your way. After 1 goal, it kind of started to get down on them, but it does kind of suck that the Cougs also lost outside of the game, if that kind of makes
Absolutely. And a 6-goal third period really opened up the game. Again, we've said it many, many times. 1-0 here at the start of this third period. If you're the Cougars, if you're Coach Johnny Lipinacci, what is the one thing that you're going to work on if you could only choose one? There are many. But what is the one thing to get this offense going consistently? As we've seen flashes of it. Then we've seen again this, where they put up a donut in the ACHA. What is something that's got to change to get the offense consistently going?
Passing. It's something that you learn, like they almost teach you passing after skating. You have to pass the puck, but you also, some of the passes would be good. Obviously, you can work on passing, and if there's some that are a little behind, a little ahead that you can improve. But controlling those passes, it would be, okay, finally a good pass, and it bounces over their stick, or they can't control it, and then Huskies are able to capitalize, clear it out, boom, boom, boom. That stuff happens. So just the whole dynamic of the passing has to get fixed. I have a feeling that the locker room talk right now isn't going to be long. It's going to be one of those situations where the boys know, Coach Panacci knows he is very upset. I don't want to say he's even 100% upset at them. It was a rough matchup. Start to finish this whole entire weekend. The Huskies proved they're the better team and the second best team in the division, right behind Western. And that's back-to-back tough weeks for the Cougs, and they're looking to get right back at it next week. But, if you're the Cougs, you have to flush it. Goldfish memory. You just got to keep on keeping on Joe Dirt style.
We've seen the Huskies obviously have run the league many times, but now, again, like last year, they have competition with Cal.
Yep.
Cal was undefeated the whole season. The Huskies were the one team to take them down, and it just so happened to be in the Pac-8 championship game. But now you have Western joining the mix. Yep. And after last weekend, they look phenomenal. Nolan Morena, their goaltender, he is incredible. He's going to give either team a run for their money, yes, and maybe even put Western in a championship position, which they have never seen, and give them an opportunity to win the whole thing come February.
Well, and something I do want to bring up is this week, obviously 7-0 looks bad. But I do want to say that the Cougs held with them. They were with them for a majority of this game. Last night, it was a 2-1 game. Go back to last week. Take away that Saturday game. Obviously, Western was the better team that whole weekend, and they dominated. But then you also go to the game right before that. It was a 3-2 hockey game. The Cougs are not that far behind these teams, and these teams have more money, are doing better in recruiting-wise, stuff like that. The Cougs are not that far behind. They're doing a good job. It's a matter of just they got knocked down. Now they have to get back up. But they can't let it be a snowball effect where it just keeps getting bigger, and you keep this losing streak going. I know the Cougs can do it. It does suck that a lot of the guys that were scratched just weren't able to make it. So injuries were piling up against big game. But it was, I want to say, 2 close games this weekend. A close game last weekend against a very good Western team, the top 2 teams in the division. They need a good win to get right back on track. That's what the Cougs need. They need to feel some of that momentum. They need to feel that love. And next home game, I want to say the Cougs fan base has to show out. They showed out today. It was legit right and left, like you stated out multiple times. The Cougs fans didn't get a lot of cheer about, but I believe the Cougs players need that sense of they love us, they need us kind of situation. Very sad outcome of the weekend, obviously, but I know the Cougs can turn it around.
And one thing you have to kind of say and mention is you cannot continuously keep leaving such a player that is such a backbone for your team like Alexi Cool out to dry continuously over and over. And it's just become kind of a trend with this offense. Again, putting up 0 tonight, putting up 1 the night before. After Cool, it stopped 52 of 54. Meanwhile, you only getting 16 shots. Not sure what the shots exactly were tonight, but they weren't close. Absolutely not. And again, with Western, very similar situation. You have to capitalize. You have to capitalize on a great chance. You have to find a way to get the puck across the line. That is the Cougars' number one focus going forward.
Obviously, Alexia Cole is doing his best. And like we said, we talked a little bit during the stream and the broadcast in the middle of the game. It sucks this goes against his stats because if you frankly look at it, obviously his stats look horrible. If you're just looking at the stat sheets, like, oh, what the heck, their goalie didn't have a great game. He did it, like, he did an amazing job. He was the best player on the Cougs both games. They need to help him. And obviously, I know once it probably got to probably 4-0, frustrations were building, and they kind of just lost the game. But the Cougs, I know they can get it done. Said it multiple times. We're excited. And it was a fun game to watch, regardless of the outcome.
It was lots of hands-on action,
Yes.
quite literally from every team on the ice, referees included. But that will be all from the Kraken Iceplex for the weekend. 7-0 final. Here is the Washington Huskies complete their sweep against the Cougs this weekend. Again, looking forward, looking to the future. Cougars will go on to play their showcase game Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the week of the 7th of November. They will have Halloween weekend off and a couple weeks to regroup. But for now, I'm Zach McFarland. This is Connor Simmons.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us tonight here on KUGR at the Kraken Iceplex for this Apple Puck contest that went to the Huskies. Subscribe to KUGR. We hope you enjoyed. Good night, everybody.